Hello everybody, this is Teo Tamara and welcome to Nancy Drew's Secret of the Scarlet Hand.
Welcome to my latest case, Secret of the Scarlet Hand. To start playing, choose either junior or senior detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, choose tutorial.
So, they have a blurb this time. I guess that was just a weird quirk with the last game that just didn't have one for whatever reason. Now I want to know why even more.
Dear Dad, greetings from the new deputy curator at Beach Hill Museum in Washington, D.C. I miss you, by the way. How's Africa? I sure hope this letter reaches you in Ouagadougou before you move on to Nairobi. So I got the internship. Your old friend Franklin Rose was awfully nice to submit my name to the rest of the members of the museum's board of directors. What an opportunity while I'm in between cases. As you probably know, the museum specializes in ancient Maya culture. My supervisor is going to be Joanna Riggs, a well-known archaeologist. Maybe you've seen her name in the news recently, in conjunction with the discovery of a strange Maya monolith. Apparently, it's created quite a buzz among experts in the field. Well, Beach Hill plans to feature the monolith in an upcoming exhibition. Just imagine, this artifact has been buried for hundreds of years, and now it's going to be unveiled to the public for the first time. The museum is short-staffed at the moment, and they're expecting such a huge turnout that they've closed their doors to prepare. I can hardly wait to dig into this exciting project and learn how archaeologists and historians solve the mysteries of ancient cultures. I'll keep you posted. Love, Nancy.
Nancy Drew, I presume. I'm Joanna Riggs. Welcome to Beach Hill. I was just checking the lock on this display case. This is one of the museum's most treasured pieces, a carving of King Pakal.
Who was King Pakal?
Pakal assumed the throne at age 12. Can you imagine? That was 615 A.D. He ruled for 68 years at the height of the Maya civilization.
Is that jade?
Yes, the Maya loved jade and used it for many of their carvings. There isn't another piece like this in the world, and it's priceless, which means I practically had to sell my own grandmother to get it.
How did the museum acquire it?
Leave it to Taylor Sinclair. He's a wizard when it comes to these deals. You'll meet him later. Now then, Nancy, you're coming on board at a critical time for Beach Hill. An exhibit of this caliber is not kid stuff. Franklin Rose assures me you're a real trooper, and I hope he's right because I'm not here to babysit. I don't care who your father is.
If there's one thing I've learned from my father, it's the value of hard work. Just tell me where to start.
There's a list of tasks for you in the lab. Once you've knocked those off, we'll regroup.
Where's the rest of the staff around here?
We've had to make some, budget cutbacks, so we'll be relying heavily on our volunteer staff. Namely, you. Besides Henrik and me, the only people who will be around to pester you are Taylor Sinclair, my ace art dealer, and Alejandro Del Rio, attaché to the Mexican consulate and executive thorn in my side.
Tell me more about Alejandro Del Rio.
Ugh, wouldn't you rather hear about the monolith? It's a massive pillar of stone, nearly 1,500 years old with Maya glyphs carved into it. We've installed it in the garden. Wait until you see it.
So this is one of the more very obvious edutainment games. Her Interactive, the company behind the Nancy Drew games, likes to market at least some of their games as having educational value, and as you may have noticed by now, this one is the one that leans a lot more heavily into that. I'm just going to go ahead and ask what a glyph is, even though I already know what it is, because, I mean, hey, one of you might not know what it is.
Could you explain what a glyph is?
A glyph, as in hieroglyphic, is a picture that represents a word or an idea. Henrik is the human encyclopedia on the subject.
How do you translate them?
Henrik can help you with that.
Henrik, is he on staff here at the museum?
Henrik Vanderheun, world-renowned expert in Maya hieroglyphics. He's the latest addition to the Beach Hill Brain Trust. I told him I don't even want to see his pointy Vander head till he's got a translation on that monolith.
Any last advice before I get down to business?
Semper ubi sub ubi.
That is definitely one of my favorite lines. Art in the Americas, hidden in Guatemala, an interview with Prudence Rutherford. Frida Kahlo revisited the U.S. folk art craze, the artifact smuggling industry. Oh my god, was this the thing I missed last time? Context for this, I did a run through earlier and I softlocked myself because we have to talk to this Prudence Rutherford later on, and I could not for the life of me trigger the conversation with her. I think we may now have found what I missed. An interview with Prudence Rutherford by Daphne Wu. How did a New York society woman like yourself end up in Topeka, Kansas? My husband, Herbert Laszlo, was a hydro engineer. When he got appointed to head up the Kansas River flood control, naturally we came to Topeka. When Herbert drowned, everyone thought I would make a beeline back to New York, but after 36 years in Topeka, I just didn't have the heart to leave. The truth is, this is my home now. Just as an aside, I find it interesting that you never took his name. That was almost unheard of at the time of your marriage, wasn't it? Yes, well, I never was one to worry about conventions. And where I come from, once a Rutherford, always a Rutherford. Well, you certainly have been a trailblazer. Now back to Topeka. What about your love for the arts? What in the world do you do for culture and entertainment here? Oh my stars, don't underestimate Topeka, dear. The arts are alive and well here. We have theater, symphony, and over 20 art galleries. I organize the St. Patrick's Day Parade, the Corn Growers Ball, and I sit on the board of the Topeka Commission for the Arts, too. This is the capital of Kansas, after all. Miss Rutherford, art appraiser, is thrilled to be featuring your fire ruby necklace in this month's issue. Please tell us about this extraordinary piece of jewelry. The necklace originally belonged to Herbert's mother, Hester, rest her soul. We never got along. Oh, but those rubies really did blaze like a burning ring of fire around her neck. You had the necklace altered when you inherited it, is that right? Yes, well, Hester's spirit was just a bit too overpowering in the necklace. I felt like I was going to be strangled whenever I wore it. So I decided to add a piece from my own family to balance out the energies and, make it my own. And honestly, it does look super pretty.
Topeka Commission for the Arts. How cultured.
Oh my god, we're interning at an Art Maya Culture Museum. That's like so cultured of us. Is there anything?
How are the tasks coming along?
I haven't seen the list yet.
Well, get cracking. The last deputy curator was like a tempest in a teapot around here. Caused me nothing but grief.
Oh my. Didn't see this conversation either.
Who was this so-called Tempest?
I'll tell you about Sonny's some other time.
I've got work to do.
Carpe diem.
At least the gratuitous Latin is a lot funnier because, hey, no one really speaks Latin unless they're in the church these days. Or just a giant languages nerd. Says me, the giant languages nerd, but no, I don't speak Latin. I do speak Spanish, though, which you questionably noticed in my Haunted Mansion video where it somewhat came up. We could look at the major contributors to the Beach Hill Museum. Here we see Marion L.A. Owens, Dr. Maria Claw, the Overman family, Skeeter Trudeau, sheesh, that's a name, Marjorie and Alvin DeVay, Persimmon Woods, Millard and Nellie Ulmer, Hugh Hunniam, Marquito Falcone, cheeky reference to Last Game there. We also would like to thank the Beach Hill Board of Directors wishes to thank these generous donors, the Spangenberg family, the Esther Bieswijk and Snooky McGee Foundation, the Ugrin family, Mary and G.B. Chiltowski, Bubba Fatsis. You can tell these are probably people who donated to whatever equivalent of Kickstarter was going around in 2002 to donate to the game, or just cheeky references the developers put in because they wanted to. Was crowdfunding even really a thing in 2002? I'm not sure. That's the year I was born, so obviously I wouldn't know much about it. Rosemary Fish, Astrid Starflex, Artemis Basque, Belson and Casper Lawrence Jones, Punchy LaRue, Philip Funk. There's more nameplates. Freud Ted Hayashi, Dagmar Burke, Rusty Dent, Ayu and Dibayu. Salamander Jones, Maxine Del Flores, Dr. B. Thomas, Regina Flangs, Teman Larson.
Topeka Commission for the Arts. That's the organization Prudence Rutherford works for.
I know, this museum's like so cultured. Anyways. The Beach Hill Board of Directors also wishes to thank these generous donors: Yoshi Piffinpath, Rolf Stroganov, Topeka Commission for the Arts, as Nancy just said, Penelope Kitty, Stymie McGruff, Rudolph Stuttgart, Frufru Labu, Kimbo Eswatha, ND Fan 123, wow, not even being subtle, Peter Pieper, or Peter Pieper, and Vladimir Eeps. I hope Vladimir is eeping good wherever he is. Anyways. Now there's a couple things going on here. This is Ekahau, the god of travelers. And this is just kind of a map of where everything is. We see this picture of Kukulkan, who is the wind god, and Shaman, which means north. Yes, this will be relevant later. We're just allowed to go in the cash register. We actually need to, because we get a temple key card. This has Bih, otherwise known as the Mayan glyph for road.
The knob is missing.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Can't really operate the thing with no knob. There's also this little random alcove here that we can look at. Not much interesting to see on the red side, but if we go to the... Or is there? Oh, right, that paper airplane. Not a paper airplane anymore. Addenda to the Palenque Monolith Loan Contract between the Republic of Mexico and Beach Hill Museum, Washington, D.C., USA. Paragraph 7, Section 8A. Beach Hill shall make two payments of $250,000, the first being paid upon execution of the contract, the second being paid 30 days after the delivery of property. This was upon delivery before. Paragraph 7, Section 10A. The duration of the loan shall be 90 days from the opening of the exhibit and no more than 200 days total. This was scratched out from an original maximum of 120 days. Paragraph 7, Section 1C. Okay, I'm guessing this is just... Wait, no, that's not paragraph 7, that's paragraph 12, excuse me. During the period of the loan, Beach Hill shall have the exclusive rights to reproduce images of the property for the following derivative words: postcards, posters, t-shirts, coffee mugs, keychains, and mouse pads. Mouse pads was apparently not originally included. Paragraph 20, Section 22D. Beach Hill shall assume full liability in the amount of $1 million, decreased from $5 million, for the property for the duration of the agreement, accepted this day of the month of the year 2002. 2002 is when the game came out, so I'm assuming the game takes place in 2002. We have Joanna's signature on here and Alejandro del Rio, the senior cultural attaché, who has noticeably not signed it and is at the Mexican embassy. And we do actually have to take that one. Now is the part where we actually do things. No looking at museum stuff yet. That's the laboratory, which is essentially our home base. There is
You
Henrik.
must be Nancy, the new deputy curator. I'm Henrik Vanderheun.
That's right, I'm Nancy. Joanna tells me you're translating the glyphs on the Palenque monolith.
Yes, it's quite a project. The opportunity of a lifetime for me.
Why are you wearing that mask?
Oh, these dusty old artifacts are murder on my allergies. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Yeah, you can tell this came out before COVID, when masks basically became commonplace. Hot take, I kind of think they should still be commonplace, at least indoors.
Did you know the deputy curator who was here before me?
Hurricane Sunny? I'm afraid I did. If he wasn't losing paperwork or setting off the fire alarm, he was cornering our visitors with his theory that the Maya were abducted by aliens. I'm afraid you'll be cleaning up his messes for a while.
I'm curious about your work. How do you go about translating a glyph anyway?
It can be a complicated process, involving research, piecing lots of different elements together, and a healthy dose of guesswork.
This is how basically everything else with languages that we don't really know much about works.
So there isn't a definitive dictionary of Maya glyphs where you can look things up?
Oh, I'm afraid not. You see, glyphs are so intricate and full of subtleties that multiple meanings may be embedded in a single glyph. So 3 distinct-looking glyphs may all translate to mean sunshine, roughly, but with different nuances. There is so much we still don't know. Lucky for me, I guess, or I'd be out of a job.
Joanna turned me loose without too many instructions. Do you have any advice for me?
Well, as you've probably heard, the museum is closed in preparation for the exhibit, so you'll have free run of the place. Please explore. The sooner you get to know your way around, the better. Think of the lab as your home base, your center of communications. Anyone who wants to get in touch with you will leave a note or a voicemail here, so check in often. I'm very busy with my work, so you're going to have to be pretty independent, but I suspect you wouldn't have it any other way.
See you around, Henrik.
Will do.
Alright, so that's Henrik. I am actually going to walk over to this desk because I have no idea what that is actually supposed to say, but it is an instruction manual for Kramer comms. I'm going to call that Oinacam for now. Never mind, it's actually Dynaham. Congratulations on your purchase of the state-of-the-art Dynaham Model 2000. We at Kramacom will know that you will enjoy your communication device for years and years. Below are some helpful pieces of information for both your safety and convenience. And remember, if it isn't KramerCon, it's asymptotic. The wonderful world of ham radio. Your new Dynaham Model 2000 lets you listen in on parts of the world you never knew existed, and interact with friends from faraway lands. The space-age digital keypad allows you to enter a 4-digit frequency or channel. You can then either listen to the activity on the channel or use the Dynaham Morse code keyboard to transmit a message. Please consult local, state, federal, and international law on appropriate and legal usage. Receiving. To enter in a frequency or a 4-channel number or channel number, simply enter a 4-digit number on the numeric keypad and press the connect button. All messages are sent using Morse code, 1 letter at a time. Compose each letter by pressing either a dot or a dash button on the Morse code keyboard. When you have finished composing a letter, press send. The 1 arrow button erases the series of dots and dashes that have been entered prior to hitting the send button. If you realize you have made a mistake after hitting the send button 1 or more times, pushing the double arrow button will send an ignore previous message signal. If you have translated an unrecognizable letter, a transmission error sound will play. Good maintenance techniques will extend the life of your Dynaham 2000 model. Avoid exposure to liquids, solvents, bodily fluids, and caustic chemicals. If the main radio tube is expired, it can be replaced with any standard radio tube. Caution: avoid placing fingers or foreign objects into the main radio tube holding socket. Electrical shock can result. And this is just how to read Morse code. In Morse code, letters are composed in a combination of dots and dashes. For example, to sound the word cat, one would enter in dash, dot, dash for dot for C, dot, dash for A, and just a dash for T. This is the radio that this manual goes to. There's also this card, Chaco Canyon Cultural Center, Shayla Schultz, Director, 1613 Gamehead Way at Yatahay, New Mexico, 87123. We also get this number, 1-505-555-1222, that we will need later. let's go to Nancy's desk now. On this desk, you have a knob, Sunny June's notebook, and a Cocoa Kringle bar. Sunny seems obsessed with those. Why are there so many? Here's the task list. We sort out the shards of pottery and reassemble the pot at the lab workstation. Bring addenda to the monolith loan agreement to Alejandro del Rio at the Mexican consulate for signature. Order bubble wrap, packing tape, and sticky labels. Match the recorded narrations to the appropriate displays in the main exhibition hall. You'll need headphones for this. 6. Reorder Maya numbering exhibit in the main exhibition hall. And, yeah, that's it. We also have list of vendors. Super Archiver 202-555-1411 for... Now this one is the one that's relevant. Silvio's. Curatorial Bonanza 202-555-9963. So let's just go ahead and call them now since we're already here.
You have no voicemail. Press 9 for an outside line.
Silvio's Curatorial Bonanza.
I'd like to place an order, please.
Have you ordered from us before?
Yes, I think so. We have an account number.
Okay, good. That saves me a lot of paperwork. What's the account number?
BH119K.
BH119K? Beach Hill? Are you serious?
That's right. I'm the new deputy curator, Nancy Drew.
Well, whoop-de-doo, it's Nancy Drew. But Silvio's Curatorial Bonanza no longer does business with Beach Hill. I've sent all 6 of the outstanding invoices to a collection agency. And you jokers won't get another packing peanut out of Silvio Jr. ever. Do not call here again.
Well, okay, looks like we can't really do that task, but let's look at Sunny June's diary. No Cocoa Kringle for you, buddy. Grr. Notes. I hate that bowl game. It's all random, or is it? Choosing when I pass when the computer passes. 4 pieces of corn, different than dice. Try Pascal's triangle. Aliens did it. 1 and 3, frequency of 2. To Mexico, artifacts, Alejandro rocks, yay! The Beach Hill Gang, blah blah blah, stop losing my things, blah blah blah, stop breaking my stuff, quit daydreaming. Get to work, Sonny. What, she got up her sleeve? This is clearly Henrik, this is Joanna. Hurricane Sunny, yeah, help! Saw Sinclair the other day. Warning, never look directly at Sinclair's tie. Ooh, that audio narration thingy is going to be so much work. Luckily, old Hurricane Sunny managed to borrow Joanna's notes for this project. Note to self, must distract Joanna only after her coffee break. Okay, let's see. Garden. OCHKJDBNGIMELA and F. Gives us basically Mac Museum and the letters of the exhibits. That is something we need for a later puzzle. Must surf web. Sure wish the lab had a computer. I just have to check out the latest alien adventure games. www.justadventure.com. If only someone would make a game about the Maya and toss in some aliens UFOs, of course. Sunny's latest adventure game is #1, Temple in the Sky. Yay, this museum gig is such a boring job. Uh-oh, Joanna found out about the sticky cheese and did a big trouble now. I wonder who ratted out on me. Must have been that Cocoa Bandit. Whoops, I hear Storm and Joanna coming over. Better hide this, and I'm assuming that's what got him fired. We can also look at this thing. Can't use it yet. It says do not operate without permission. Now that we've actually seen everything.
Greetings.
I'm supposed to order more packing supplies, but the company says they won't do business with us anymore. Does Beach Hill have bills it can't pay?
No comment.
But Henrik, how am I supposed to get this order taken care of?
I hereby absolve you of that task. If Joanna wants things shipped, she can stuff them into garbage bags for all I care.
What is the Spectro X Archeo analyzer for?
It's used for identifying chemical compounds that are found on artifacts, traces of ink, blood, charcoal, and other substances. The beauty of the machine is that it can collect these traces without damaging the artifact in any way. But it cost us a fortune, so don't fiddle with it unless you get Joanna's permission.
I'm not sure how to go about rearranging those exhibit narrations.
It's really quite simple. Check out the Convermatic auto-narrator in shipping and receiving. You'll need some headphones. First determine which of the exhibits in the main hall could rightly be called Exhibit A. Change Exhibit A's narration number until you're seeing what you're hearing, or hearing what you're seeing, and it's all downhill from there.
See you around, Henrik.
Bye.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and not bother with the audio just yet. It's just not something we need to do right now. So, let's go ahead and do... Actually, wait. There is actually something I want to do before we leave, and it's to do my task list. We were absolved of this task, so I'm going to cross it off. Let's do the one that says priority and go to the Mexican consulate. I love how we just open the doors and we're already in the metro. Also, I love how Nancy takes the metro in this game. Like, why didn't she do that in Stay Tuned for Danger? It was the better option. You have New York and you're not going to do the subway? What a missed opportunity. But I'm glad they're really seizing that here. Also, you can tell Nancy is just not a seasoned transfer user because her proclivity for unnecessary transfers is something that transit nerds like me will probably get annoyed by, but the rest of you might not care as much as I do about this. Here is Alejandro del Rio. And
How may I help you?
Hi, I'm Nancy Drew, the new deputy curator over at Beach Hill.
So, you're Joanna Riggs' newest pirate in training. How does it feel to join the ranks with the modern-day conquistadors?
I beg your pardon, but how does a deputy curator become a pirate in your book?
You had better brush up on your history, young lady. When the Spanish explorers invaded Mexico, they became known as the conquistadors, or conquerors. They robbed the indigenous peoples of their wealth, not just their gold, but their artwork, their sacred objects. Anything they did not steal, they burned to the ground.
Do you blame Joanna and modern-day art collectors for something that happened long before they were born?
There is more. In the 19th century, archaeologists discovered the ruins of ancient civilizations predating even the Aztecs. Many of the dig sites were robbed, and the stolen artifacts were sold off to art museums and collectors around the world. Today, finally, it is illegal among most civilized nations to remove an artifact from its native country. But sadly, there are thousands of precious antiquities with highly questionable provenance floating around the Western world.
Nancy Drew, your white woman is showing. Yeesh. Like, Alejandro is making point after point, and okay, maybe the whole point of Nancy Drew coming here is to educate herself, so maybe she actually ends up doing some of the work as the game goes on. It's been a while since I revisited this game, between when I last did and when I tried my first attempt at this yesterday. Not yesterday, but the other day.
What do you mean by questionable provenance?
An artifact's provenance is the story of its origin and ownership. For example, how it made its way from a temple at Chichen Itza to a museum in Washington, D.C. If the artifact's provenance reveals that it has been stolen, then that artifact must be returned to the country of its origin.
Then the relics at Beach Hill must all be legitimate, right?
No, not at all. Provenance documents are often tampered with or forged to cover up the theft. Because of this, thefts continue and a great deal of art is moved on the black market even today. Unethical art dealers and greedy museum curators do nothing to stop this.
Are you suggesting Beach Hill is involved in these kinds of misdealings?
If Joanna Riggs or that overstuffed pillowhead Sinclair had any decency, they would take measures to see that all Maya artifacts were returned to Mexico at once where they belong.
And what if these measures are not taken?
My country will have its due, Nancy, even if I have to begin reclaiming its artifacts with my own two hands.
I admire your conviction, Alejandro. Lucky for me, the Palenque monolith is only here on loan from Mexico.
I am still not happy that such a rare find will have its debut exhibition on American soil. But in my country, too, there are people for whom money talks. I will take those documents now. Thank you. I have some business with Joanna at the museum later, so I will return the contract to her then, after I have looked it over.
Actually, Alejandro, I think I'm supposed to take them back to Joanna myself.
You may consider your mission accomplished.
Well, okay then.
Goodbye.
Yeah, no, he's actually kind of real for that. Here's more background on the whole provenance thing, telling us that it is actually your duty to establish legal provenance. Provenance, the history of ownership. A work of art may travel great distances and change many hands during the course of its lifetime. Typically, legal transfer of ownership happens either as a sale, an inheritance, or a gift. Provenance documents are an important means of establishing an artwork's authenticity, as well as confirming the legality of its ownership. They show the geographic, personal, commercial root of a work of art, that is, they identify the date of each exchange, the names of the people involved, the circumstances of the transfer, and the location where the transaction has taken place. Ideally, an unbroken chain of ownership can be traced all the way from the artist's workshop to the present day. Frequently, though, some documents are missing. The art dealer or museum curator has no way of knowing how the artwork has been exchanged during these gaps in the record. When this is the case, legality of the ownership present day becomes suspect. When researching an artwork's provenance, the following documents may provide clues: exhibition catalogs, sales catalogs, collection catalogs, papers and business records of collectors, papers and business records of dealers, wills, and insurance inventories. There isn't really anything else we can look at here. Again, I do love how we just opened the doors and we're at the metro. Right, we have officially completed the priority
Good
task.
thing Franklin gave me the museum key.
Right, we can cross that off.
It looks like some pieces are missing.
So there's pieces missing.
Greetings.
Can I give that ham radio a try?
Absolutely not. The radio is a tool, not a toy. One has to be extremely careful about the kind of information one sends out over the airwaves. And I do not have time to monitor you. And besides, the vacuum tubes have been terribly fussy lately. If another one blows, I think I'll go mental.
I'm not sure what to do with those shards of pottery Joanna left for me.
Play around with those pieces until you've reconstructed the pot they once were. There may be a few extraneous pieces. Likewise, you may find yourself on a scavenger hunt for a piece or two if I know Sunny June.
See you around, Henrik.
That will be fine.
So as we saw, there are two possibly not extant pieces, but one of them's in here. And one of them is... well, it's definitely not here. There is Sunny Stuff, which has Sunny Stuff and one of the missing pieces. Oh yeah, this is the glyph for ha, meaning water. Now the other piece is somewhere up here in this pyramid. There's a bunch of games and stuff in here, and there's that cool skull and this cool statue. And a jade statue, even cooler. But more importantly, the second missing piece is in there.
I should put in my temple key card.
Not yet, Nancy. We are not playing that game yet. We've got a while to go before we get there.
There, now I can start putting this together.
It took me a minute to figure out exactly how the pieces rotate, but once you've got that sorted, it truly does become a lot easier to put back together.
That's done.
So that's the pottery thing reassembled. This one is honestly, actually, a pretty easy puzzle. I apologize if anyone gets motion sick with all the spinning I do.
I see you succeeded in reconstructing that Maya pot. Do you know what the glyph on it means?
No, I was hoping you could tell me.
Place name glyphs are some of the rarest and most difficult to translate. Even most of my colleagues wouldn't have a clue about this one. But I'm a rare breed myself, Nancy, and this is one of my areas of expertise.
I do love the reference to the last game, but it does seem a bit flippant for right now.
You've got
so we're
my
gonna go with the other one.
undivided attention.
The glyph on that pot signifies the great ancient Maya city of Copan in Honduras. There happens to be a very important dig going on there right now.
Why is it so important?
When you've been researching a civilization for over half your life, you get very excited about any new evidence that is found. I'm keeping up with the action by ham radio.
See you around, Henrik.
That will be fine.
Now, here's the part where we go actually do the audio narration task. I don't know why they put the audio guide thing in shipping and receiving. That does seem like a kind of odd place to put it. So we can look at all the boxes, see that they are organized A, B, C, D, E, F. Some of these are just not. G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. So now that we know how it's all organized, we're actually going to go ahead and listen to them here.
The Maya used different methods to represent numbers. Here is an example of the numbers from 0 to 19, from top left to bottom right. Notice how some numbers are represented with bars and dots, and some are represented with pictures.
Maya scribes recorded the official history of the kings and queens but very little is known about daily life in the Maya world. Although there are thousands of inscriptions found on artifacts and architecture, there are only a handful of Maya books in existence today.
Archaeologists work in some of the most remote areas of the world. Ham radios are often the only means of contacting the outside world. HAM is an acronym for Handheld Amateur Radio. Strange, supernatural creatures, sometimes called monsters, played an important role in Maya mythology. These monsters were often associated with the earth, caves, or mountains. The bicephalic monster, sometimes called the celestial or cosmic monster, may have represented the sunrise or a long journey.
I am Lord Pakal, ruler of the mighty kingdom of Palenque. All those who come before me witness my power.
Lord Pakal is considered the most influential ruler of the Maya civilization. Cultural, scientific, and military achievement flourished under his reign. As with all Maya kings, very little is known about his personal life, since all written inscriptions dealt solely with public achievements such as wars, battles, coronations, births, marriages, and deaths.
Although the geographic range of Maya cities is well known, it is difficult to determine the range of Maya influence. Some experts believe the Maya may have traveled as far south as the Amazon and as far north as North America. The date on this slab uses the Tzolk'in, or divine calendar, made up of 20 weeks each with a named day and 13 weeks each with a numerical day. The two types of weeks progress independently of each other.
The Maya kings were often in a protracted state of war with local kahals. Here, Bird Jaguar stands to the right as a captured lord kneels at his feet. The kahal holds a broken umbrella, a gesture typical of a supplicating captive.
The Maya were pantheistic, believing in many gods who ruled over different aspects of Maya life. Chak was the god of rain. Ixchel, goddess of the moon, presided over childbirth and basket weaving. Ahau Kin represented the sun.
In addition to adorning themselves with jewelry and costumes, the Maya shaped their bodies to heighten their beauty. Beads were dangled in front of infants' faces to encourage crossed eyes, a trait considered attractive to the Maya.
The four miniature gods clinging to the vision serpent are the headband twins, Hun Ahau and Balaam, and the twins of sacrificial dance, Chak Shibj Chak, and the baby jaguar. The Maya were particularly fascinated with twins, and many of the Maya gods were paired together.
Ceramic bowls, such as the one featured in this exhibit, may have been used as vessels for burnt offerings of incense or corn. This bowl was either dedicated to or used to supplicate the god of war, Balak.
Lady Zak Cook ruled Palenque before her son ascended the throne in 615 CE. Maya tradition required that the kingship be handed down from father to son, but Lady Zak Cook broke this custom by establishing herself as a deity. This gave her the power to justify the new royal lineage. Because his mother had been deified, Pakal often referred to himself as the first true king. The Maya ball game was a religious activity as well as a spectator sport. Players would propel a rubber ball through a small stone hoop using their thighs, hips, and forearms. It is believed that the players were often sacrificed after a game.
Ritualized bloodletting was a common practice among the Maya. In this panel, 3 captives wear garments associated with bloodletting. A variety of instruments, including stingray spines, thorns, and bone awls, were employed for this activity.
Alright, so that's all of them. And given that there's an entire task about it, we know that some of them are wrong. We have to actually get the thing we need for this task first, the headphones. We do that at the front desk. And now with the knob working, we can actually grab the headphones. Now, we actually start looking at things.
Although the geographic range of Maya cities is well known, it is difficult to determine the range of Maya influence. Some experts believe the Maya may have traveled as far south as the Amazon and as far north as North America.
Okay, so that one is correct. That's F.
It's locked.
The Maya used different methods to represent numbers. Here is an example of the numbers from 0 to 19, from top left to bottom right. Notice how some numbers are represented with bars and dots, and some are represented with pictures.
So, yeah, this one's wrong. This is A, this is wrong.
I am Lord Pakal, ruler of the mighty kingdom of Palenque. All those who come before me witness my power.
Lord Pakal is considered the most influential ruler of the Maya civilization. Cultural, scientific, and military achievement flourished under his reign. As with all Maya kings, very little is known about his personal life, since all written inscriptions dealt solely with public achievements such as wars, battles, coronations, births, marriages, and deaths.
So that one's right. That's the Pakal.
I am Lord
This
Pakal,
carving is
ruler
actually
of the mighty Lady Zach Cook ruled Palenque before her son ascended the throne in 615 CE. Maya tradition required that the kingship be handed down from father to son, but Lady Zach Cook broke this custom by establishing herself as a deity. This gave her the power to justify the new royal lineage. Because his mother had been deified, Pakal often referred to himself as the first true king. Lady Zach Cook ruled Palenque before her son ascended the throne in 615 CE. Maya tradition required that the kingship be handed down from father to son, but ladies...
So yeah, that one is correct.
The date on this slab uses the Tzolk'in, or divine calendar, made up of 20 weeks each with a named day, and 13 weeks each with a numerical day. The two types of weeks progress independently of each other. The date on this slab...
Yeah, so this one's wrong.
The Maya ball game was a religious activity as well as a spectator sport.
This one is right, though.
The Maya ball game...
Let's go actually back this way to the left side. Actually, wait now, let's...
Strange, supernatural creatures, sometimes called monsters.
Nope. We already heard numbers audio, so we can probably guess that one was gonna be wrong for sure.
Maya scribes recorded the official history of the kings and queens, but very little is known about daily life in the Maya world. Although there are thousands of inscriptions found on artifacts and
We're gonna go ahead and say that one's right, because we can clearly see it's about the scribes.
The Maya were pantheistic, believing in many gods.
Okay, so that one's right, because that's the narration about the sun gods.
Ceramic bowls, such as the one featured in this exhibit, may have been used as vessels for burnt offerings of incense or corn. This bowl was either dedicated to or used to supplicate the god of war, Balak. Ceramic bowls, such as the one featured in this exhibit,
so
may
this
have
one's
been
correct,
used as
and we
vessels
see
for burnt
ek meaning
offerings
black.
of incense or corn. This bowl was either dedicated to or...
The others are all in the garden. Well, this is actually the first time I've been out in the garden, so... This one doesn't have an audio, so we're just gonna proceed. This one doesn't have one either, but this one does have this one does have the glyph meaning meaning throne. I do think there might actually be one that does have a...
Ritualized bloodletting was a common practice among the Maya. In this panel, 3 captives wear garments associated with bloodletting. A variety of instruments, including stingray spines, thorns, and bone awls, were employed for this activity. Ritualized bloodletting was a common practice among the...
Given that there are 3 captives, we're gonna go ahead and assume that this is probably correct. Here, we arrive at the monolith itself.
This side looks damaged.
Nancy Drew, or should I say, Detective Drew. I'm Sinclair.
Wow, Sonny was actually right about do not look at his tie.
Who told you I was a detective?
I was at a meeting with the BOD recently, and I caught wind of your appointment and your credentials. Very impressive, if I do say so myself.
Well, I'm not on a case right now, that's for sure. I'm the new deputy curator, remember?
So, how's this for a specimen? Ever seen $1 million worth of rock before?
So this is the monolith.
You bet your socks it is. Would you believe I dug it up in my backyard?
Yeah, right. That must have been some shovel.
Ouch. Well, they did say you were sharp. Seriously, though, thank goodness you're here. I'm afraid the museum may be in terrible jeopardy.
What kind of jeopardy?
Joanna told me to butt out, but I'm so fond of Beach Hill, I just hate to see it fall prey to scoundrels.
Joanna told you to butt out? Of what?
It's a sensitive subject. Meet me at my office later and I'll explain everything then.
Where's your office?
707 Bing Cherry Boulevard. I've got to go. Enjoy your first day at Beach Hill.
Okay, bye.
Looks like this side is missing a part.
You can actually look at all 4 sides of the monolith.
Interesting.
Okay, no, no, that's the way we came from. We want to go the other way. This one doesn't have an audio. It's an online from the Wickford estate.
The Maya kings were often in a protracted state of war with local kahals. Here, Bird Jaguar stands to the right as a captured lord kneels at his feet. The kahal holds a broken umbrella, a gesture typical of a supplicating captive. The Maya kings were often in a
So yeah, that one's correct. Oh wait, were we supposed to be able to look at
The
them?
4 miniature gods clinging to the vision serpent are the headband twins, Hun Ahau and Balaam, and the twins of sacrificial dance, Chak, Shib, Chak, and the baby Jack.
That one's correct because it has the 4 gods, and then you have... That one doesn't actually have an audio.
In addition to adorning themselves with jewelry...
Okay, that
and
one's definitely wrong. We can now go and actually correct them. So A was the first one that was wrong. It should be 5.
Archaeologists work in some of the most remote areas of the world. Ham radios are often the only means of contacting the outside world. HAM is an acronym for Handheld Amateur Radio.
So we only have to change a few of them. The first one is A. C should be 14.
Strange supernatural creatures, sometimes called monsters.
D should actually be number 7. G should be number 9. And J should be number 13.
There, that looks like it's in order.
See, the nice thing about that is it tells you when you got it right, so that's good. And then there's the last major to do. Now this one's not even
I should
loaded. We
look
can
for the
open
missing
it.
tiles.
But there's tiles missing, so we can't actually start it yet. Numbers 9 and 12, supposedly, are the ones that are missing. There's the bicephalic altar, and there's one of the tiles. Now the other one is all the way back in the exhibition hall. In fact, this one is actually one of the tiles. Now, what you're supposed to do here is actually go figure out what the... To actually do this puzzle properly, you technically actually have to go back to Nancy's room, the Colonial Hotel. Because we have to read the floppy disk on the only computer we have. This is really cute. So we can look at our notes. Dad's friend, Franklin Rose, 5551441, asked me to volunteer as an assistant curator at the Beach Hill Museum. The museum is preparing an exhibit on the ancient civilization of the Maya that includes a monolith recently excavated in Mexico. Met my boss, Joanna Riggs, who showed me the museum's prized possession, a carving of the Maya king Pakal, who ruled over the ancient city Palenque. Fun fact, the indigenous name of the city is Pacalna. Met the museum's epigrapher, Maya language specialist Henrik van der Heun, working on translating the inscriptions on the monolith. The Chaco Canyon Cultural Center's number is 505-555-1222. Why is everyone's phone prefix 555? Strange. Nancy Drew, you might be on your way to discovering that you are in fact a fictional character. Need to bring papers about the monolith to the Mexican consulate. Pottery in the lab needs to be pieced back together, but some pieces are missing. Found Sunny's diskette. Information on the diskette may help me with my tasks. Met art dealer Taylor Sinclair, who helps the museum purchase artifacts. Concerned about the museum, should go talk to him at his office. The logograph number exhibit is missing some pieces. Need to find. Prudence Rutherford was a member of the Topeka Commission for the Arts, which is a donor to the museum. See if Franklin knows her. Check in with Bess and George. We'll probably do that when we're done here. Now, for this one, remember why Sunny's obsessed with Coco Kringle? That's his password. So we have a bunch of stuff here we can look at. Stuff to do. JR is hounding me to get this done, but I can't keep all of them straight. The headphones will help me figure out what is playing in the display, and the convent vanity machine in the storage room will help me change what plays in an exhibit, so where am I going wrong? I definitely know that the following match. B goes with 8, E goes with 1, F goes with 6, H goes with 15, I goes with 3, K goes with 12, L goes with 4, M goes with 2, N goes with 10, and O goes with 11. Stuff to remember. Dots, bars, and gods. Sunny's I'd rather be counting sheep guide. This is what we're actually here for to the Maya number system. 0 looks like a turtle shell, but no turtle. 1 dot is 1, 2 dots is 2, 1 bar is 5, so 2 bars is 2 times 5, or 10. Picture this, each dot is an individual fingerprint, greasy from spicy wontons, and the bar represents the whole hand like a set of 5 fingers. So a bar with a dot next to it, 5 plus 1 equals 6, so 3 bars and a dot is 16. Yes, bars are usually vertical up and down. Dots should be on the left of the bars. Here's the catch. If it doesn't look exactly like a dot or bar, it doesn't count. Squigglies, ovals, incomplete dots, crooked bars, chocolate bars, mini stars, horseshoes, shamrocks, diamonds, half moon, scribbles, dribbles, none of them count. Also, the Maya often put decorative marks next to their numbers, so just ignore anything that's not a bar and or dot. I repeat, anything that doesn't look like a plain old dot or bar is out. Easy as sleeping on the job, right? Not quite. Some gods also represent numbers. They're pretty tough to pick out at first, but they'll grow on you just like mold on cheese. Ew. Some good rules of thumb. 1, Hun has fish lips, a really big nose, and a set of good teeth. 2, Ga has a big hat with 5 fingers and a semi-oval in it. 3, Osh looks like a doctor. 4, Gan has his or her tongue sticking out. They, them as people's pronouns hadn't become as widely accepted as it is now, and hopefully it stays widely accepted. 5, Ho has wrinkles and a fancy hat. 6, Wak wears an eye patch with an X in it. 7, Wook wears rectangular glasses and a small oval on the forehead. 8, Washak has curly forehead ornament and a peace symbol on cheek. 9, Bolon has a beard or acne. 10, Lahun looks like death, no nose and a removable jaw. 11, Buluk is frothing at the mouth and has 3 curvy ovals on the head. 12, Lahka. What the heck is even going on there? 13, Oshlahum has a T on the cheek. 14, Ganlahun. 15, Hulahun. 16, Watlahun. 17, Wuklahun. 18, Washaklahun. And 19, Bolonlahun. All look like the original numbers but with the removable jar of Lahun. Stuff to forget. System login, S-June, system password, space baby, temple quizzes. I can't figure out the answer to the level 2 quiz question about the matchmaker, and Henrik isn't speaking to me right now. He's way too touchy about that old ham radio. So either I'm blind as a bat and can't find the exhibit that has the answer, or we just never put it in. Details. Joanne has no help on this, so I'll just have to wait for a horde of visitors getting very frustrated with this question once we open the museum. I'll let Henrik deal with the trauma. Came up with a great question for level 3, but Henrik hates it. Once I get some time, I'll make an exhibit for this. Just don't know where I can get my hands on one. I wonder if Joanna will spring a trip for me to go down to Guatemala. Stuff to work on. Dissertation topic. The demise of the ancient Maya. Drought, plague, or UFO? Why and how did Maya civilization disappear so quickly? Maya were sophisticated astronomers. Are they trying to achieve space travel? Great Amerindian civilizations like the Maya and Inca believed to have contact with extraterrestrials, where the temples actually control towers. Research. 20th century artist Manuel Mendoza and spaceship motif. Research claims that Maya disappearance on Earth was due to departure for other worlds. Research claims that many flying saucers sighted today are being piloted by Maya elders. As you can see, Sunny June is quack. Like, complete quack. But that's why he's so iconic in this game. This is the first time he ever really shows up. And this was, like, the main thing we needed. And let's go ahead and call Bess, since we're here and it specifically says do that.
Hello?
Hey, Bess, it's me, Nancy. What's new?
It's pouring rain. George and I are in the middle of a heated game of Go Fish, and I'm winning. Don't believe a word she says, Nancy. Last hand, I made mincemeat out of her. Anyway, we don't want to make you homesick. How's the internship going?
So far, so good. There's a lot of excitement about the upcoming exhibit, especially since we have the Palenque monolith.
The who?
The monolith. It's a giant block of stone recently excavated from a cave near Palenque in Mexico. Apparently, it's a very big deal. They think it's 1,500 years old.
So, have you seen it? This, monolith?
Yeah, it's humongous. Must weigh a ton.
Like how big? As big as a refrigerator?
Maybe Bigfoot's refrigerator.
Sorry, Nancy, but how would a person tell this monolith apart from, say, some other big rock?
Well, for one thing, it has Maya glyphs carved into it.
Glyphs?
Pictures that represent words or ideas, also known as logographs. Joanna says the glyphs might be a message from King Pakal.
What kind of message?
We don't know yet. Henrik Vanderheun, Beach Hill's epigrapher, is working on a translation.
Who was King Pakal?
He's considered one of the great Maya rulers. He reigned at the height of the Maya civilization.
Well, Nancy, you're sounding very curatorial.
Very curatorial indeed. We've been worried that you would be a little bored without a mystery to solve, but it sounds like your brain will have plenty to chew on.
The whole Maya culture is a mystery to me at the moment. The last thing I'm going to be is bored. I'm sure of that.
Speaking of kings, this card game's not over yet, Bess.
Yes, well, I hope you've got plenty of bait for your fishing pole, dear cousin.
Okay, you two. I'll call back later.
Call back soon.
Yeah, and good luck.
Alright, so that was the phone call with Bess. It's really the only other thing we do. We can check the time. It's 11 at night, but we don't really like sleep here, so we're gonna go back to Beach Hill. We actually have them all, so we know this is 0. This is 10, 12, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 5, 10. This is 12. I'll just put that one in 19 for right now. This one is 1. This one is 15, 16, 17. This one is 5, 10, 15, 16. This one's 5. This is 7, 8, 10, 14. And this one is 4. One is 11, 12. This one is 10. And that's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And some of these are still not quite where they're supposed to be, so we're going to be reorganizing here for a little bit.
That looks right.
All right, there we go. And we've done everything. Now it's like 11:45 p.m. in game here. It's actually locked, so we have to actually go change the time now because we have to go trigger the next big event in the story. Go ahead and get Nancy a nice 8 hours of sleep. Joanna's here now.
How are the tasks coming along?
Why did you become a museum curator?
I became a curator because I want to help make artifacts available to as many people as possible. That's all that matters, isn't it? Unless you're Alejandro Del Rio.
When did Henrik come on board?
I got an email from him one day saying he heard the news about Beach Hill getting the monolith. He said he'd drop everything to come here and translate those glyphs. He was even willing to take a pay cut. What could I say except giddy up? You're hired.
Where was he working before?
At the Chaco Canyon Cultural Center in New Mexico.
I've got work to do.
Semper ubi sub ubi.
Will forever be my favorite line from her. Now let's go to Sinclair's office, because he was rapidly begging us to.
It's about time! Oh, my fears are like maggots infesting my poor old carcass. Want a cookie? They're from Oaxaca.
No, thank you. You said Beach Hill is in jeopardy. I need to know why.
The art world is being ransacked, Nancy. Prudence Rutherford, a major patron of the arts, had her fire ruby necklace stolen from her villa in Topeka. 2 weeks later, a whole display case full of rare Maya artifacts was heisted from a museum in New Mexico.
Do you think there's a connection between the two thefts?
Who knows? I'm just telling you, this community, our friends and colleagues, my people are being systematically trounced by thugs. Who's to say Beach Hill won't be next? You've got to do something.
Does Joanna share your concerns?
I've urged Joanna to approach the board about making some security upgrades, but she just keeps saying that the timing isn't right to ask for money.
With so much writing on this exhibit? How can that be?
Who knows?
I understand your concern, but what can I do to help?
We need your eagle eyes. We need your bat ears. We need you to sniff out the stink of trouble.
I'll do my best, but it sounds like what you really need is a new breed of police dog.
Don't play modest mouse with me.
Modest mouse? Most people call me Nosy Parker. But anyway, tell me something about the art business. Is that a contemporary painting?
You bet your socks it is. Would you believe I dug it up in my backyard?
Good thing you're not trying to make a living as a comedian. So, what about the painting?
How about that rubber shark? The artist's name is Poppy Dada. She's a teenager in South Dakota. The art world is going bananas over her stuff. I'll unload that one for some serious dinero.
Is Poppy Dada her real name?
I don't know.
Joanna says you performed an act of wizardry in helping Beach Hill acquire the Pakal carving.
Getting those provenance docs together was a pig and a half. Oh, they're on the up and up, I assure you. But to have been at the height of my career back before the crackdown, those were the days.
What crackdown?
Maybe sometime I'll tell you a sad story I call How Mexico Lost Its Sense of Humor. Not today, though, Nancy.
Okay, it's giving your whiteness is showing again, Sinclair.
Alejandro says you're unethical, a modern-day conquistador, that you're robbing Mexico of its cultural history.
And I say Alejandro is the real bully of the playground. A lunch money extortionist who loves nothing more than to see the other boys and girls go hungry.
When you sell a piece of art, what kind of commission do you get?
Standard, 10%. It's no king's ransom, unless of course you sell something for $1 million. Too bad I'm not allowed to put that monolith on the market, huh?
I'd better get going.
Keep up the good work.
Let's head over to the Mexican consulate. Maybe he has something to say now that I've actually done stuff.
Buenos dias.
Why did Mexico choose to lend the monolith to Beach Hill and not some other museum?
Johanna Riggs outbid everyone. I had no idea a small museum like Beach Hill could afford such an expensive arrangement.
That's the thing. They can't. Hence the addendum you got. I did read the terms of that. Also, you're like the only one that makes like sensible points because everyone else's whiteness is showing except for possibly Henrik.
Do you consider Henrik a conquistador, along with Joanna Riggs and Sinclair?
Henrik is a student of my culture and my heritage, not trying to buy and sell it. We don't agree on everything, especially not baseball, but I have nothing against him.
I should get back to the museum.
Adios, Nancy.
So, Henrik's gone.
Beach Hill's been hit. Sit tight, Nancy. The police are on their way.
Yeah, those fade outs were a bit wonky. I'm glad they got rid of that from the other games and just cut to black immediately. So, the Pakal carving is gone, and there's crime scene tape around it. Before we do anything, we're gonna go talk to Joanna.
Come in. Someone has cooked up my worst nightmare and served it to me on a plate.
I'm sorry about the theft, Joanna. It must be a terrible loss for the museum.
That's the understatement of the year.
Did the police find any clues around the display case?
The police took some samples for the crime lab, but they couldn't promise any overnight results. So if you want to put your little magnifying glass up to the scene, it's fine with me.
What were their initial findings?
Who knows? Right now, my priority is to get a move on this insurance claim.
Do you think Alejandro would go to extreme measures, like stealing, to reclaim Mexico's artifacts?
Who knows?
I've got work to do.
Go to it.
Doing that right now. To get this is the titular Scarlet Hand, and there's glyphs there. Nancy, something's come up and I'll be gone for a bit. Your mission, in the meantime, run through the temple activities to verify that all questions can be answered based on info available elsewhere in the museum. We don't want a little rascal rebellion on our hands when the exhibit opens now, do we? Be back ASAP. Thanks, Henrik.
You have voicemail. Press 0 to retrieve messages. Press 9 for an outside line.
Nancy, hi. It's Franklin Rose. I'm calling because it's just... This theft is very bad news for the museum. You can't imagine the limb we went out on to acquire that Pakal carving. It's been one of the museum's main attractions. I don't want to take you away from your internship, but if you can do a little investigating, well, I think I speak for the whole board when I say we'd be very grateful. Give me a call when you have a chance. And Nancy, thanks.
To replay messages, press 0. Press 9 for an outside line.
And let's call Franklin Rose back.
Boswell, Jackson, and Rose, how may I direct your call? This is Nancy Drew, calling for Franklin Rose, please. Just a minute, please.
Nancy, hello. Do you have any news?
Not really, but something tells me this case is going to get complicated.
Oh, Nancy, you zero in on a case like a heat-seeking missile, don't you? I feel so much better knowing you're going to follow up on every lead. I'll help in any way I can.
Thanks, Mr. Rose.
That's what I'm here for.
Now let's go report to Joanna our findings, which is mostly that paper.
Need something?
Have you seen Henrik? I found a piece of paper inside the Pakal display case. It had some glyphs on it and a print of a red hand. I'm hoping he can give me a translation.
What am I, fish food? Henrik's not the only one around here who can read a glyph, you know.
Sorry, Joanna. I thought I was supposed to go to Henrik with all my glyph questions.
The police showed me the note. It said, "The magician suffers yellow death," whatever that means. Apparently, the thief just couldn't come up with the glyphs for "the curator suffers flaming purple disgrace."
I'm curious about the red handprint the thief left. Does it have any significance in Maya culture?
Afraid I can't help you there. What I want to know is what the hand was printed with. It's obviously not finger paint. Why don't you do a little analysis on it in the lab?
I haven't seen Henrik since the theft. Where do you think he could be?
Who knows?
Not much help, but we have permission to run an analysis on the Scarlet Hand. So let's run an analysis on the Scarlet Hand.
Okay, I've got a graph of the chemical used for the handprint. Now I've got to match it up with a known substance.
There we go.
That's it.
So we know it has HGS. Now, I know from chemistry class that this is mercury sulfide. They probably made most of y'all read the periodic table in middle or high school, but if they didn't, or you're not in middle or high school yet, first of all, why are you here? But
according to this chart, Hg stands for mercury. S stands for sulfur. So the handprint was made from mercury and sulfur.
So, now we know. The refresher on periodic table is always important. You never know when you might end up needing it.
Need something?
I did the chemical analysis you suggested. That red hand was printed with a compound containing mercury and sulfur. Does that mean anything to you?
Sure, cinnabar. The Maya would rub it into their most important carvings to add definition to the artist's lines.
Where would a person get a supply of cinnabar?
We use cinnabar here at the museum the same way the Maya did, to keep things as authentic as possible. Henrik orders those kinds of supplies, but we've been out of stock for quite a while. The last I heard, there was some kind of holdup with the distributor.
I've got work to do.
Semper ubi sub ubi.
Now let's actually call the Cinnabar person and see who does this. This is with Mac. It says mercuric sulfide outright.
You have no voicemail. Press 9 for an outside line.
Keep it real. Max speaking.
Hi, I'm the new deputy curator over at Beach Hill Museum. I wonder if you could answer a couple of questions for me about our ordering history.
Well, hello there, Beach Hill. Hey, you're not Sunny June. Whatever happened to that guy? I suppose he caught a ride on a flying saucer, huh? What a riot. I'm sorry. Anyway, you don't need to reorder, do you? Unless you ate last week's shipment for breakfast, that is.
Do you know who placed that order?
The initials on the order are JR.
You're sure it was last week?
Oh, that's what it says here.
Was the package shipped to the museum?
Oh? Oops, I guess we didn't ship it at all. It looks like the package was picked up here at the warehouse.
So there hasn't been a holdup at the distributor or anything like that?
Hold up. Oh, I don't know where you heard that. We've got enough mercuric sulfide in-house to sink a ship.
Can you remember anything about the person who picked up the package?
I sure can't. Guess I must have been at lunch or something.
Well, thanks for your help.
Sure thing. I hope there wasn't any problem with the stuff, was there? We only used the top-grade mercuric sulfide.
Problem? Not that I could hold you responsible for.
Well, you sound a little green in the chemicals department, if you don't mind my saying so. I hope you know that mercuric sulfide is highly toxic. Makes you crazy.
Well, I have heard that mercury poisoning can cause hallucinations and other symptoms of psychosis.
Oh, looks like I've got another call coming in here. You give us a call in about 4 months or so when you start to run out, okie doke? And don't forget to keep it real.
Okay. Let's go for a walk in the garden. Clear our heads a little bit. What?
Henrik!
Oh, Lord.
Amnesia? Wow. Henrik must have taken a real nosedive off that pyramid.
Do you think he just fell, Nancy?
Or was he pushed?
Sounds like you need to find out about hospital visiting hours.
Yeah, but you'd better get the lowdown from Joanna first.
George is right. She is your supervisor, after all.
So, that's that. We are just not going to bother with anything else in here. Let's just head back. It's 10... probably at night. Because there's no way we did all that in the span of 2 hours. Oh no, it is 10 in the morning.
Come in.
First the Pakal carving is stolen, and now my star glyph man bumps his head and forgets his own name? What's next, Nancy? Del Rio pulls the plug on the monolith. The board clams up on my funding. My mother posts my old prom pictures on the internet.
Take it easy, Joanna. I'm sure everything is going to be okay.
What I need from you right now is action, not commentary, Nancy. Will you follow up with the hospital and see if there's anything we can do to get Henrik's marbles back?
How can I help around here?
You can also pick up Henrik's mail if he gets any. Keep the lab in order and just try to help me keep the entire museum from going up in smoke.
I've got work to do.
Carpe diem.
So things are not going too great here. Let's go to the desk and...
You have voicemail. Press 0 to retrieve messages. Press 9 for an outside line.
This message is for Nancy Drew. Hi, Nancy. This is Nurse Bluefoot calling from Eleanor Roosevelt Memorial Hospital in regards to Henrik Vanderheun. I believe you're a colleague of his? Since Mr. Vanderheun was admitted, he has repeated your name several times in states of semi-consciousness. As we've been unable to contact any of his family members, we're hoping you might be willing to act as Henrik's support person as he begins the difficult process of restoring his memory. Please call me as soon as possible to discuss this. My direct line is 202-555-4000. Thank you.
To replay messages, press 0. Press 9 for an outside line.
Apologies for the exceptionally long break there. I needed a minute, and I cannot Alt-Tab out of this game to stop the recording without the game graphics corrupting themselves.
This is Nurse Bluefoot.
Nurse Bluefoot, this is Nancy Drew. You left me a message regarding Henrik Vanderheun. How is he?
Nancy Drew? Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I'm so relieved. We've been unable to locate any family members, and we do like amnesia patients to have at least one personal support person when they begin reality orientation.
Can you explain the amnesia?
Henrik is suffering from an acute case of post-traumatic retrograde amnesia. At the moment, he is unable to recall even the most basic autobiographical facts, from his name and address to his birthday and shoe size. He can't access the details of his personal history or events leading up to his accident.
Has he lost his memory for good?
Henrik has not actually lost his memory. It's just that his brain is injured in such a way that he can't access the place where the memories are stored.
I see. So we need to help him find the trail of crumbs. Is that it?
Exactly. First, we do repetitive memory exercises to help Henrik relearn the basic facts, like his name and address, the name of his parakeet, if he has one, the date, and so on. Second, we try to stimulate Henrik's sensory memories in order to help trigger or find the way back to his cognitive memories.
What are sensory memories?
A sensory memory is like it sounds, something that is familiar, that you recognize by sight or touch, smell or sound or... Oh, what is that last one? Oh, yes, taste. A cognitive memory is something that you know or remember intellectually. For example, how do you know the name of this planet? Somewhere along the way, you learn that it's called Earth, and you just remember. But say you bump your head and forget the name of this planet. You don't know where in the solar system you're floating.
Yikes!
Exactly. But then I show you a picture of our marvelous blue and green globe. Suddenly you remember. That glorious sight is Earth. I live on the planet Earth. This is how a sensory memory can trigger a cognitive or intellectual one.
What if the patient doesn't remember right away?
You can't help Henrik remember his childhood, but you can probably help him remember his work. And who knows where that will take him. All roads lead to Rome, as they say. One great tool is the Reality Orientation Board. This is a place to post information and pictures for the patient to look at over a period of time. You may want to bring in images or photos to place on the board. Things from the museum, perhaps.
I see. Well, I'll be happy to help in any way I can. When are visiting hours?
Visiting hours are 10 to 4 every day, if the patient is not engaged in treatment and if he seems stable.
Great. Is there anything else?
Just remember, Henrik's brain has been knocked around like a peanut in its shell. He may have attention difficulties, headaches, anxiety. Sometimes he may seem giddy, too. We need to keep these conditions in check. Don't push him too hard, or he may have some kind of meltdown.
Well, the last thing we want is a meltdown. I'll go easy on him.
Bye-bye.
Alright, so we gotta go to hospital.
You look familiar. Is it time for my snack?
Henrik, it's me, Nancy. You're looking very well. I'm here to help with your memory exercises so you can come back to Beach Hill as soon as possible.
Beach Hill?
Beach Hill is a museum here in Washington, D.C. The curator's name is Joanna Riggs. You were working there, and that's where your accident happened. Do you remember anything about the accident?
Joanna Riggs. Is that the woman who called to pick my brain for an access code?
What access code would that be?
Where in my poor banged-up head would I be keeping access codes? I don't even remember my own birthday. So if you're here to squeeze me for details, you're wasting your time.
Actually, Nurse Bluefoot thinks with regular visits, I may be able to help you get your memory back more quickly.
How, pray tell, do you intend to do that?
Nurse Bluefoot says that visual aids often help to trigger memories.
Pictures? Well, isn't this nice?
Come on, Henrik. You'll feel much better once things start coming back to you. I've got a picture with me if you'd like to give it a try.
Fine, I'll do it.
Great. These are Maya glyphs, like the ones you used to translate. Now, don't be upset if you don't know how to read them anymore. I can tell you what they mean.
I know what they mean, dear. I wrote them.
I'm sure you have written them at one time or another in your career. So, what do you think this is all about? The magician suffers yellow death.
Your translator is sloppy. I should know. I am the author of the original work.
The author? What are you talking about?
That first glyph is the fool, not the magician. Furthermore, any decent epigrapher knows those glyphs refer to the infamous plague of oozing hives. A fitting curse for a fool, don't you think? I rather like it.
Henrik, this note was found at a crime scene. Are you telling me you left it there?
I don't remember.
I'm investigating the theft of the Pakal carving. Please, Henrik, try to remember something.
Who in the world is Pakal? Oh, my head. Oh, the pressure. I can't take any more today, Nancy.
Okay, it's time for some memory therapy. Nancy,
could you come back tomorrow?
We don't even have to leave the hospital. We just turn around and we're in the metro. Ah.
It's a fiasco, just as I feared. Oh, I'm sick about the whole thing.
I see you've spoken with Joanna.
I was in the museum when it happened.
Have you spoken to the police?
I told them everything I know. I mean, I coughed up my brains right there on the table.
Did you hear? The thief left a glyph message with a red handprint on it.
That awful red hand was left on Prudence Rutherford's jewelry box in Topeka and on the display case in the museum in New Mexico. What's the chance they're not connected?
What's the name of the museum in New Mexico?
The Chaco Canyon Cultural Center. They had a beautiful collection up there, worth a bundle, too. I appraised some pieces for them a few years back.
Do you know Prudence Rutherford personally?
Oh, we saw each other at functions now and then. Poor Prudence. She adored that necklace.
Why do you think the thief is leaving this red handprint?
To be a gruesome scoundrel?
I need a photo of the Pakal carving. Do you have one?
Joanna took the official print for her insurance claim, but I have a couple extras. Here you go. Keep up the good work.
So, it's kind of giving Henrik did it because he worked at the Chaco Cultural Center before and then practically begged to work at Beach Hill. And Joanna just did not background check him at all, and he basically confessed to being the one who wrote the note that they left at the crime scene, so I'm assuming Henrik did it.
Boswell, Jackson, and Rose. How may I direct your call?
This is Nancy Drew, calling for Franklin Rose, please.
Just a minute, please.
Nancy, to what do I owe the pleasure of this call?
I need to contact a woman named Prudence Rutherford. I noticed she's on the board of the Topeka Commission for the Arts, and that they've donated money to Beach Hill. Any idea how I might track her down?
Well, you're in luck. It so happens that Prudence and I sat on the panel of judges for the Kansas Speak No Evil Mime competition for 3 years in a row. Back when I lived in Wichita. How's that for a small world?
Okay. So this is actually where I got stuck last time.
Dad never told me you lived in Wichita.
Indeed I did. I haven't talked to Prudence in about 10 years. But let's see if I still have her in this old dinosaur of a Rolodex. Ah, yes, here we go. Got a pen? It's area code 785-555-7279. What's this all about?
Miss Rutherford had a necklace with a Maya artifact stolen right out of her home. I'm trying to see if there's any connection between these robberies.
Ha! You're a real pro, Nancy. Say, why don't I call ahead and let Prudence know what's going on? That way I can say hello and she'll be expecting you.
That would be great, Mr. Rose.
Not a problem, dear.
So, we're not going to call Prudence just yet. This is where I got stuck last time because I could not for the life of me figure out the trigger for the conversation with Prudence. Now that we have been able to get that conversation safely, I think it's looking at the magazine in Joanna's office is the trigger for that, because I completely missed that when I ran through this the other day.
Chaco Canyon Cultural Center.
Hi, I'm hoping to speak to someone about the theft that happened there recently.
Are you the press?
No, I'm a detective investigating a similar crime in Washington, D.C.
This is Sheila Schultz, the director. What would you like to know?
My name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from the Beach Hill Museum in Washington, D.C. I understand you had some rare Maya artifacts stolen recently.
That's right. It's a terrible loss, and the police here have no leads.
Beach Hill was robbed too. We lost one of our prized jade carvings.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
I'm wondering if the robberies are connected. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about the incident at Chaco Canyon?
Fire away.
I heard the thief left a red handprint at the scene of the crime. Is that true?
Yes. It was very gruesome. It looked like blood, but according to the police analysis, the print was made with a mercuric sulfide paste.
Do you know of any symbolic meaning attached to a red hand?
Don't walk, don't go there, talk to the hand, as my 15-year-old would say? Really, I haven't the slightest idea.
What types of artifacts did the thief get away with?
Only the center's most prized pieces. The case contained 5 pre-Columbian artifacts that were excavated right from this area.
Do you have a list of the stolen pieces?
I know those pieces like the back of my hand. There were 3 pottery pieces, a small stone figurine with a snake head, and an ornamental jade carving.
I'm interested in the jade carving. What did it look like?
It was highly unusual. There was a glyph on it that no one could translate. Until we hired Henrik Vanderheun, that is. His opinion was that it's Mayan in origin, and that it may have been a place name glyph for this area. As you can imagine, we regarded it as something of a regional treasure.
Could you send me a photo of that jade carving so I can take a look at the glyph?
I'm afraid I sent our only print off to the insurance company. They said they'd return it, but who knows when our claim will be processed. I'm sorry.
Thanks a million, Sheila.
Feel free to call if you have any more questions.
Alright, so let's check the time. We're going to go ahead and just sleep for the rest of the day. We're going to set it to 10 a.m. the next day. Let's go ahead and try Prudence.
You have reached the villa of Prudence Rutherford. As you may have heard, the sanctity of my home has recently been violated. If you've reached this recording, it means I've gone to my quiet place, so please don't leave a message. You are welcome to try back another time. If you are calling about the Corn Growers Ball, rest assured that the show will go on as scheduled on the 9th.
Okay. Let's just not even bother with that right now, and we're gonna go to the consulate.
Hello, Nancy.
Alright, so there's kind of a lot we need to talk about with
Do
it.
you know much about Maya glyphs?
You've got me there. I know Spanish, English, Portuguese, and several indigenous languages, including Quiche and Nahuatl, but I have yet to learn the language of glyphs.
Have you heard? The Bacal carving was stolen from the museum.
Well, I heard the alarms going off, but it wasn't until Henry called me that I heard the news.
So, you were in the museum at the time?
I was dropping off the monolith agreement for Joanna, as I said I would.
Did you see anything suspicious?
I was running late. I just figured somebody tripped a wire and I kept going. Whew.
It's odd that I didn't see you.
I was there on business, Nancy, not for tea.
Don't you care about the disappearance of such a rare Maya artifact?
That artifact was lost to me as soon as it left Mexican soil. So my friend Pacal goes underground for a while until he is sold again. Suddenly, he turns up in Amsterdam or Hong Kong. Unless he is rightfully repatriated to Mexico, what's the difference?
Have you heard? Henrik Vanderheun fell off the pyramid at the museum. He's in the hospital with a mysterious head injury.
That is terrible news. I hope it's not too serious.
Do you know what cinnabar is?
The red powder that the Maya used? Sure, I know it. They use it at Beach Hill too, do they not?
Cinnabar was used to make the red handprint that was left at the scene of the Pacal theft.
What is your point?
I think Joanna may have been less than truthful with me.
Have you called the police?
I don't want to jump to conclusions.
Of course. Sister Joanna couldn't possibly be a thief now, could she?
I should get back to the museum.
Adios, Nancy.
Let's head over to the hospital. Well, reality now. My name is Henrik Vander Heun. My age is 61 and a half. My home is Washington, D.C. My occupation is a piggrapher. My marital status is divorced. I have 0 children. My allergies include chicken and bee stings, and I don't know what's going on with that pen, so I guess he just put a number 2 on it.
Well, look who it is.
Ready to do some memory work, Henrik? I brought you a picture. This will help you to remember.
That face. He's as familiar as my own feet.
Do you know his name?
Pakal! Nancy, this is the stolen carving, isn't it? And I'm the one who took it. I must have. But why? Oh, Pakal! What could I have meant by this?
Think, Henrik. Where's the carving now?
I can't remember.
Easy, Henrik. The answers are in your head. You just need to find them.
It's still in the museum.
Why would you break into the display case and steal the carving only to leave it in the museum?
To protect him. I had to protect him. Oh, Pakal! Something is going on at that museum, a devious plot. I was the only one who could stand in the way.
So he confesses.
What kind of plot?
Forgive me, Nancy, but when I woke up in this hospital bed, I didn't even know my own name. Perhaps the only thing I can offer you is this key. It was found in one of my pockets when I was brought in.
Do you know what lock it belongs to?
I haven't a clue. Take the key now, Nancy. Find out what it opens and return to me, please, with some answers.
You can count on me, Henrik.
In the meantime, I'll sit with my friend Pakal and see if he will tell me anything new. You must keep this to yourself for now. It's your only hope of getting to the bottom of this.
Wow. There is kind of a lot going on here.
One of the pieces that was stolen from the Chaco Canyon Cultural Center was a jade carving with an unusual glyph on it. Do you remember translating it?
I can't remember.
Do you know anything about the theft of Prudence Rutherford's necklace?
I can't remember.
Did you use Joanna's name last week to place an order for Cinnabar with Keep It Real Restoration?
You're asking the wrong amnesiac.
Do you have anything against Joanna?
Who knows?
Henrik, I need to know where you put the Pakal carving.
You're asking the wrong amnesiac.
You rest up. I'll be back.
I'll do my best.
Better get back to the museum. Not much else we can really do right now, so... There's another note on the desk. Nancy, the police called. They want me to go down to the station for further questioning. Something about an anonymous tip. Ugh, do I have time for this? No. Hold on the fort while I'm gone, will you please? I have my office open if you need anything. Be back soon. Joanna.
You have voicemail. Press 0 to retrieve messages. Press 9 for an outside line.
Nancy, it's Joanna. The police are done giving me the 3rd degree, but now the board has suspended me. To make a long story short, I'm forbidden to set foot in the museum. Could you please call Franklin Rose and try to reason with him? If we don't get a move on, this exhibit is going straight down the tubes.
To replay messages, press 0. Press 9 for an outside line.
Let's go ahead and call Franklin and try to reason with him.
Boswell, Jackson, and Rose, how may I direct your call?
This is Nancy Drew, calling for Franklin Rose, please.
Just a minute, please.
Nancy, you must be psychic. I was just getting ready to call you myself.
Oh, really? Why?
I feel I should apologize for the situation that's going on at the museum, dear. I really did think we were setting you up with a nice little internship, a breather from your casework, but instead it looks like we've fed you to the lions.
Well, in all my travels, I still haven't found a mystery-free zone, Mr. Rose.
Speaking of travel, I got a postcard from your father in Ouagadougou. Apparently, Burkina Faso has become the cultural darling of West Africa. He must be having quite an adventure.
Like father, like daughter. Anyway, Mr. Rose, I'm calling about Joanna.
I think I know what you're going to say, Nancy. Let me be frank. Joanna Riggs has been in the doghouse with the board for months. Her thirst for acclaim has led her to gamble the future and the reputation of Beach Hill time and again. Now that we've lost the Pakal carving, one of our most notable pieces, well, she's just got to be stopped.
Don't you believe she's genuinely concerned about the welfare of the museum?
Good intentions are no substitute for integrity and sound judgment, Nancy. Look, I've got a client waiting, Nancy. What we need now is for you to take up the slack. I've spoken to the rest of the board, and we've agreed that the best thing is to put you in charge.
But, Mr. Rose, I don't think Joanna is responsible for the Pakal theft. She shouldn't be punished.
She's not being punished, dear. In legal terms, we're suspending her in abundance of caution, so she won't do any more damage to Beach Hill's reputation or her own. We're counting on you to catch this thief red-handed. Ha ha. Just kidding, kiddo. If you can get the Pakal back, we'll see about giving Ms. Riggs another chance. That seems fair, doesn't it?
It's a deal, Mr. Rose.
Bye, kiddo.
Alright, so we're basically just have the entire roost up. We're just the intern. Good lord, that's not good. So the key is for his desk. We get another floppy disk. A lot going on in here. Number stations. 2050. DHD transits a series of 5 digits in Spanish with each translation starting with atención, atención. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are the numbers in Spanish 1 through 9. Write down the last 3 digits of the series and add a 0 to it to get a 4-digit number. Add each of the original 5 digits and add the sum to the 4-digit number from the first step. This station that the smugglers will take messages on. For example, if the station number gives 56123, then the smuggler station is 1247. Put a 0 at the end of the last 3 digits, 1230. Add all the digits in the series. 5 plus 6 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 17. And then add the number from step 1 to the number from step 2 and you get 1247. 66913 is 9155. 48281 is 2833. 81437 is 4393. Password is a Nahuatl word for snake. Enter it in Morse code and they'll confirm by voice. Then send the code word. Leche, send the item immediately. The coast is clear. Mujer, meet me at the rendezvous point. Sueno, don't send the item, coast is not clear. And Vaca's payment has been sent.
Looks like I need to find someone who speaks Nahuatl.
Seven 1672. Hiked with Big Bunny all day. Temperatures in the 100s. Water is scarce, but Highland region is beautiful and pristine except for Bunny's incessant commentary. Even spotted a quetzal flying amongst the branches, a rare tweet. Symbolizes freedom and wealth, tail highly prized by the Maya. July 22nd. Crossed paths with the old shaman today. Eager for some relief from Big Bunny, accepted Old Man's invitation to eat. Old Man Vicente gave us very strong tea to which BB reacted negatively. He kept shouting, "Bunny rabbits, flaming bunny rabbits, return of the repressed?" Once he even pounced on the floor to try to catch one, but there was nothing there. Vicente thought this was very funny. I nearly expired from something. Old Man told us legend has it that the Highlands are haunted by the spirit of Amoshkalyi. I understood most translated for bunny. Here is legend as best I could gather. At the height of Pakal's reign, a royal Maya scribe Gihuapili Amoshkalyi wrote an account of the Maya that somehow defamed Pakal's name. Amoshkalyi disappeared along with all something. World would have enjoyed the story much more without the unwanted outbursts of my foolish sidekick. Quite a tale, though, amazing that it has survived somehow over hundreds of years. July 23rd. Big Bunny wants to start small-time smuggling racket to pay off his college tuition. Ugh, he's the last person I'd want for partner in crime, but I do need some way to fund my own studies. Oh, wait.
It's locked.
No. Frick, I think I missed something. July 18th. Hard rain last night. Shared tent with Big Bunny out of kindness. Pity. What does he eat? Nearly suffocated. I nearly expired from embarrassment. Tea had no unusual effect on me. Along with all traces of her work, the rumor was that Pakal banished the scribe and her writings to the far reaches of the netherworld. Highland elders show that Amoskali has haunted these hills for centuries, and will not rest until her writings are unearthed or her name is restored to dignity. Banished? Ha! If only Pakal were so lenient. I wonder if I could stand it. July 29th. Travels today, but not eventful. Sun is hotter than ever. Tomorrow we return to base camp. Cannot wait to be rid of my companion. Suspect he is really a dog in bunny clothing. Yak 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 yak. Sir Bunny the Garrulous. Okay, so we did actually miss something. Let's go ahead and talk to Alejandro because he's relevant to this or something.
Buenos dias.
Have you heard? The police received an anonymous tip, and they're considering Joanna a prime suspect in the Bacall theft. They've taken her in for questioning.
I called in that tip. She lied about the cinnabar, and you may not know this, but she has jeopardized the museum's finances with all of her wheeling and dealing. Why should she not be questioned?
How do you know about museum finances?
I have my sources.
I need to know the Nahuatl word for snake. Can you help me?
What do you need that word for?
I'd rather not say. It's part of my investigation.
Now, if only I could remember the word for snake. I hear you have been a great help to Henrik. I wonder if you can help me improve my memory too.
What are you talking about, Alejandro?
I am almost certain that the provenance documents for the Bacall carving were falsified. I have asked Joanna to see the documents, but she evades me. If you can find that file in her office and bring it to me, I think it might help my memory of Nahuatl a lot.
Of course you would say. Manipulation at its finest, but it's okay.
First you tell me you were unconcerned about the theft of the Bacall carving, and now you have an urgent need to see the provenance documents? Is it just me, or is this a little suspicious?
If I can determine that the provenance documents are a fraud, this will be the first major step toward legal repatriation of the artwork, whenever and wherever it resurfaces.
Okay, Alejandro. I'll see what I can do.
I feel my Nahuatl coming back to me already. Do you know what Sihuapili means? Princess or lady. Now, if only I could remember the word for snake.
I should get back to the museum.
Adios, Nancy.
Don't call my name, don't call my name. Alejandro. Okay, so I screwed up slightly and kind of forgot something. Translation notes continued. Blessing, curse, perhaps summon, spirit, death. Thok meaning conjure or summon, similar to blessing grab but with death face. Bak, captive. Na, house. Captive house. Prison was a prisoner. Hak is captive. Is that Bak or Hak? I look think Bak. Hulol or Hulos? One of those two. To bring down, war metaphor. Break, destroy. There's already a verb for destruction. My guess is either break or broken. Glyph for example, Gaban, day signs. Gaban, Gab meaning earth. Either the earth world, no coiled spiral, just like the earth. 1. Broken earth, four corners. Page 2, of course, four corners of the world. Fascinating, this kingly title, very familiar. Bakal, of course, but not like any I've ever seen. Wait, where have I seen this? Ahao is Lord, Imish is one, Bakal is the name for shield. Rabbit, just like the scribe image, rabbit is trickster, jester, full, very uncommon. Kopan glyph. Is that? Uba is she or he does, performs. Thuth or hom is period ending the end. Kopan emblem has been modified with rabbit head similar to the rabbit scribe. Ib. Uba. Perform, work, labor. It was completed, period ending equals till the end of times. And we get to take that one. Now we go to the hospital. I'll just leave this for him. No, let's go to where Joanna usually is, and we see something on a microscope. We look in the drawer here, we get a key. Not the only drawer we can open. We see El Museo Cultural, 523 Dolores Street, San Francisco, California, 94110, shipped to Beach Hill Museum, 941 Jefferson Drive, Southwest, Washington, D.C., 20560. We see number 1113, which is a Diego de Landa ornamental carving, which was a piece of jade executed in the Jibacoa Valley in Cuba. Nothing else here, but that is a jade carving. We can now look at the filing cabinet. Provenance document. The King Pakal carving, content, ancient King of Palenque, material, jade, age, classic period, 650 CE. Identifying marks, glyph, combination of Pakal's shield glyph, the Lord glyph, and the Imish 1 disc on forehead. Translation, the first true king. 4 by 4 inches, weight is 0.43 pounds. Provenance, timeline, site of excavation, unknown. Year of excavation, unknown. First known record of ownership, 1940, given by Rupert Stardust Serpentine Gallery in Los Angeles, California, 8920 Wilshire Boulevard, 8290 Wilshire Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90110. 1955, sold by Serpentine to Felix and Miranda Peterson in Connecticut. 1993, sold at auction by Peterson Estate to the Beach Hill Museum in D.C. We have sold to the Serpentine Gallery from A. John Greenberg. Bertram Vandelay, attorney at law, 2222 Railroad Avenue, Suite 200, Greenwich, Connecticut, 06830. December 2nd, 1992, Dear Taylor, As you may have heard, my longtime colleagues Felix and Miranda Peterson both passed away this summer in the heatwave. Felix was 89 and Miranda was 91, and by all accounts, they lived extraordinarily full lives. Still, it's too bad the air conditioning unit went on the blink when it did. I and all the citizens of Greenwich will miss them dearly. As you know, the Petersons had no children. Per their instructions, I am to arrange the auction of their estate and donate the proceeds to charity. As you may also know, the Petersons had a fabulous art collection, including several pre-Columbian artifacts that may be of particular interest to you. The auction will be held February 7th. Please let me know if you'll be planning to attend. Sincerely, your friend and colleague, Bertram Vandelay. Executor of auction sale. Item sold but called carving. Oh, Taylor Sinclair and Joanna Riggs both there. So we get to take that with us. Nothing else to do here. So let's try Prudence, because we've been waiting a minute now to do that.
Yes, hello?
Hi, this is Nancy Drew, calling from Washington, D.C. I'm trying to reach Prudence Rutherford, please.
Oh, yes, Franklin told me you'd be calling. Such dreadful news about Beach Hill. I will do everything in my power to help you catch those rapscallions. To think how they violated the sanctity of my domicile. Good heavens.
I'm sorry to hear about your loss. What can you tell me about the necklace?
I can't even think about it. Oh, just the very thought of my precious necklace gone, stranded, orphaned, and in the hands of some dirty stranger makes my blood boil.
Was the necklace a gift?
I inherited it from my mother-in-law. But you see, the necklace means much more to me than just a handful of priceless rubies.
More? In what way?
I had the necklace restrung to include an exquisite jade carving as the centerpiece, a genuine artifact of the ancient Maya. The carving is not only one of a kind, but a Rutherford family heirloom given to me by my great-grandfather when I was just a little girl.
What does the jade piece look like?
It features a rare glyph. No one's been able to give me a precise translation, but most epigraphers have agreed that it has something to do with a snake, the color green, and the direction south. It's terribly fascinating.
About the theft, where were you when it took place?
At 3 a.m.? Well, I was home, of course. Lost in sweet slumber. I don't grace the social circuit the way I used to. That brazen fiend crept right into the bedroom and took my necklace away. Where was I? Picking peaches in the fruit-laden orchards of my dreams. I feel like such a fool.
Was anything else taken besides the necklace?
Nothing. Not even my brand new Dada. Synesthetic, interactive, organic journey? Huh. I always knew Dada was overrated. One moment, dear. Off. Off the sofa, you nasty beast! No! What are you doing? What did I say about the sofa? Bad, bad, naughty bad! I'm sorry, dear. What was I saying?
Doggo interference.
About the theft.
Oh, yes! Oh, they must have known. The rest of my valuables were left untouched. Frankly, I don't know whether to be grateful or insulted.
What about evidence?
The first thing I saw when I opened my eyes was this positively ghoulish red handprint on the wall. I nearly jumped out of my skin.
A red handprint was left at the scene of the crime at Beach Hill, too. Ms. Rutherford, I'm almost certain that these robberies were committed by the same person.
But why? What is so special about these carvings?
Miss Rutherford, it would be so helpful if I knew exactly what your carving looked like. Could you send me a picture that shows it in detail?
I can do better than a photo. The insurance company made this dreadful replica of the necklace with the idea that I would wear such a thing to public functions. Please. But I could send that to you if you'd like.
Oh, that would be wonderful. How soon could you have it here?
You'll have it tomorrow or the next day. My secretary will have the address of the museum. Now, if that is all you require, young lady, I will need to attend to other pressing matters.
Thanks a million, Miss Rutherford. I won't let you down.
Call me Prudence. Oh, and Nancy, when you find the villains who did this to me, do me a favor and give them a sound thrashing.
You're coming through loud and clear. Bye.
So that's Prudence, and we have that zip drive. That one actually does go. So that's what that external one's for. It's that disc. This one also has a password. So, we don't have it. I'm assuming it's Nahuatl for snake. For right now, at least. Let's check the time, though. 3:45 p.m. Well, let's call Bess and George. I'm done that in a minute.
No peeking at my cards, George. Hello?
Hey, Bess, it's me, Nancy.
Hey, Nancy. How's life at the museum?
Everything was going great until someone broke into a display case and stole one of the museum's most valuable artifacts. A jade carving of King Pakal.
A theft? When? How? Who are your suspects? Do you have any clues?
Easy, ladies. Let's just say that so far, I have more questions than I do answers. But don't worry, I'm on the case.
There goes your low-key internship.
Honestly, Nancy, it never will cease to amaze me how one girl can cross paths with so much trouble.
I don't know what to make of Alejandro Del Rio, the attaché to the Mexican consulate.
What's his connection to Beach Hill?
Right now, he's negotiating the monolith loan agreement between Mexico and the museum.
And what's your confusion? Something to do with dashing good looks, I hope.
Well, he is a little bit handsome, but he also seems very angry about all the Mexican antiquities his country has lost over the years.
How have they been lost?
They've been taken by explorers and archaeologists and smugglers. I guess the laws have only recently changed to protect Mexico's rights to its own antiquities.
Well, it sounds like he has a legitimate gripe.
Yes, but I got the feeling he would do just about anything to get an artifact returned to Mexico.
What do you mean, anything?
That's what I'm not sure of.
Well, let's hope he's just a big talker and not a bona fide vigilante.
Why would the thief keep leaving that awful red handprint at every crime scene?
Talk about a creepy trademark.
Oh, I'm just glad I haven't seen it. With my sensitive psyche, that type of thing is like a 10-year warranty for nightmares.
Does it have any meaning in Maya culture?
Not that I know of.
Well, somebody ought to know. You're surrounded by experts in Maya culture, for gosh sakes.
But maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. Maybe the thief just thinks it's glamorous.
Sure. I mean, who really wants anonymity after all? Thieves have to have style. Something to set them apart, right?
It's not just any old villain that gets a book deal these days.
After the board caught wind about the police interrogating Joanna, they suspended her.
But Joanna didn't take the Pakal.
I tried to suggest that to Franklin Rose without betraying Henrik's confidence, but he's not interested in cutting Joanna any slack.
So what? She's history?
Mr. Rose said that if the Pakal carving is recovered, he'll reconsider.
Well, that's just one more reason you've got to find that carving.
Yeah. Joanna's ambitions may be a little misguided at times, but she shouldn't have to take the fall for Henrik.
Plus which, her presence at the museum may be one of the crucial ingredients to solving this case.
I'll talk to you later, ladies.
We'll be waiting for an update.
Bye, Nancy.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do one of those ridiculously long sleeps again. First stop, the consulate.
Hello, Nancy. You have a special delivery for me, I hope?
Here's your file, as requested.
Good work, my friend. I suppose you would like something in return?
A deal's a deal.
The Nahuatl word for snake is coatl. C-O-A-T-L.
Cuatro.
Muchas gracias. Gotta go.
Adios, Nancy.
And now to ospedale. Wait, that's Italian. Hospital. There we go. And Henrik is awake.
Nancy, you have brought me back to my work.
You recognize the riddle then?
I've been working like a fiend. Look at the board.
Wow.
There's Henrik's password.
A curse upon you who beholds his terror. The evil deeds of the whisperer of silent secrets remain undead. With this prison of... what? Was rock broken only when the four corners of the world are bound together. When the first king ascends the throne again. When the last upon fool is labored to the end of time. Stone?
This has something to do with the plot at the museum, Nancy. I'm sure of it.
Who is this whisperer of silent secrets?
The whisperer came from a distinguished line of royal scribes. I can't seem to remember her name, but I do recall that she wrote an account of Maya history that greatly angered Pakal because of the way it depicted his ascent to the throne.
How did Pakal wish to be depicted?
From the age of 12, when he came to the throne, Pakal claimed to be divinely appointed the first true authentic king of the Maya. Then, the whisperer came along and wrote that Pakal was only king because his mother pulled some strings. It was quite a blow to Pakal's image.
What happened to the scribe's writings?
Pakal swore that the whisperer's words would never see the light of day. He put her body, her soul, and her writings all in a tomb and locked it up tight.
Wait, Henrik, a prison of stone? We're not talking about the monolith, are we?
That's the idea.
Do you think the monolith can be opened?
Good question. I'm certain that there's a dirty rat trying to get into that tomb. This is where my memory fizzles out. If I could only figure out why I took the Pakal.
Do you think there is anyone I can trust?
Please don't breathe a word of this. There's too much at stake.
Henrik, I need to know where you put the Pakal carving.
I don't know.
Have you ever been part of a smuggling racket?
I don't know.
Can you tell me what the password is to your disk?
You're asking the wrong amnesiac.
You rest up. I'll be back.
I'll do my best.
And now we're gonna go ahead and look at the zip disk, now that we got the password to it. Oh, it's still in the computer. It is stone. We get translation. A curse upon you who beholds his terror. The evil deeds of the whisperer of silent secrets remain undead within this prison of stone, broken only when the four corners of the world are bound together, when the first king ascends the throne again, when the last upon fool is labored to the end of time. Notes we have. Bool is a ritualistic ball game originated about 3000 BCE. Did the Maya think of Bool as a metaphor for Atanthahab? Matchmaker, hired by a boy or groom's parents to assess the suitability of a prospective marriage. Bride and groom were often married without ever having spoken a word to each other. Check to see if there's an exhibit on this for the temple quiz. Greenstone, jade, jadeite, serpentine, all different. Shades of green. Maya considered jade to be divine, far more important than gold. Used it to make both artistic and sacred objects. The 6 keys would likely be carved out of this. The prison bears an intricate lock. 6 separate keys must be assembled to fit the lock. Look at the riddle. 4 corners of the world plus fool and king is 6. Each must represent one interlocking part of a bigger key. A cube has 6 sides. Perhaps they fit together into a cube, but where do these keys and what do they look like? Poe Epicol scattered them all over the Maya world, so they would not ever be put back together. Keys carved out must be jade. Likely that too, each bears an identifying gliz. Must track them down before it's too late. Someone else knows about this. Whisper, scribe, a Moshkali from Shaman's legend. See travel notes from summer of 72. The monolith must be a mechanism for her punishment, and because she was most likely of royal lineage, Bakal could not permanently prohibit her from entering the underworld, though there should be a mechanism within the prison of stone to allow her soul to find its way out, as well as a mechanism for someone else to open the prison from outside the monolith. The 6 keys. Alright, I'm gonna have to stop this here for a second. Alright, we're back. My apologies for that. I got a phone call. Thankfully, it was only a scam, so I was able to handle it pretty quickly. We were just finished reading this. North. Artifacts found as far north as New Mexico. Numerous pieces lost in recent Chacal Canyon Cultural Center heist. The North Key likely among them, but contact other museums in the area just to be sure. El Museo Cultural in Arizona, no. Institute for Mexican Antiquities, also no. Lila Higgins' house also doesn't have it. Maya civilization extended to western Honduras, northern El Salvador, Belize, further, Amazon jungle. See Rutherford interview in recent issue of Art Appraiser. Gantunilquin is the western tip of Mexico, but what about Cuba? The Maya were great astronomers, therefore capable of sea travel. Seems likely that they would have been aware of the island. Research records show one Bishop Diego de Landa found a strange jade carving there in 1652. Is this the East Key? West, Revilla, Gijedo Island, too far. Research, 1898, jade carving with unidentifiable glyphs sold at New York auction. According to Providence, does artifact originally found by Spanish military commander Juan de Ascension Cortego in 1753, Cocos Island off Costa Rica, sold to whom? Carving sold to Miss Western shoe polish tycoon Henry Albert Daddle. Daddle Henry Albert IV is 605-555-3195 Vermilion, South Dakota. Contact. We get Copan Fool. Reports from Dig are good. Found jade carving with rabbit glyph. Rabbit was trickster in Maya folklore. Could this be the Fool? Radio for delivery. Bacal touted himself as first true king. The beach carving must be next on the beef list. Must stop. How? I need to place Bacal in a safe place. I cannot trust anyone at this time. Moral dilemma, but how can I argue that the end justifies the means? And I need to send a loud and clear message to the corporate racing to open the monolith alongside me. I only hope that I can win this round. Lamanai. City's name means submerged crocodile. Crocodiles depicted in many goods. Balgaka. The priest responsible for giving children their first names and naming. Prefixes A for boys and Ish for girls. After prefix, the name of a mammal, reptile, or bird. For example, boy could be Ahbalam and girl should be Ishquat. After puberty, the child would take on his or her father's last name as well. Well, this is what we were just looking at. Contacts. Mexico. Region sites Yucatan. They can projects yes. Uxmal. Contact Hector Fuentes. Comments PhD Universidad de Guanajuato. Approaching retirement. Region and sites Tabasco. Dig in progress no. Contact Viola Dumas. Comments PhD Universidad de Guadalajara. Can be disagreeable. Do not mention Uxmal. Regions Res Campeche. Dig in progress no. Contact Ese Randolfe. Comments new guy. First name, details unknown. Region and sites, Quintana Roo. Dig in progress, yes. Contract, Alfred Ware. Comments competitive backstabber, no help. Region and sites, Chiapas. Dig in progress, yes. Palenque. Contact Eduardo and Juan Pulido, aka Eddie. Brothers, Eddie the Elder. MA and BA respectively from Florida International U. Belize. Region and sites of Huaca Plateau. Dig in progress, no. Contact Max Wolf. Last seen 17 months ago in Rainforest. Guatemala. Region and sites Petén and Tikal. Dig in progress no. Contact Patricia Gomez. Contacts PhD. Harvard. Well connected and on a sabbatical for 6 months. El Salvador. Region and sites Tihuatan. Dig in progress no. Contact Peter and Addie Huber. Husband and wife time speak German only. So Peter and Adi Huber. So kind of a lot going on there. And we actually have to call the number that we saw there, which is...
Daddle residence.
Hi, may I speak to Henry Daddle, please?
Speaking.
Mr. Daddle, my name is Nancy Drew. This is a long shot, but I'm calling regarding a Maya artifact that was bought at auction in 1898 by one Henry Albert Daddle. Does that ring any bells?
Sure. Henry Albert Daddle Sr. was my great-grandfather. You're talking about the jade carving, right?
Yes, exactly. Wow, I can't believe my luck.
Well, it's a lucky life if you ask me. So what can I do for you?
I'm investigating a recent rash of thefts around the country involving similar Maya artifacts. Any information you could give me about the one your great-grandfather bought would be very helpful.
I see. Well, I was the last to inherit the carving, but my daughter Penelope was so intrigued with it that I gave it to her. I'm sure she'd be happy to talk to you about it. Why don't you give her a call on her line? It's 555-3197.
Will do. Thanks, Mr. Daddle.
My pleasure.
Hello?
Hi, is this Penelope?
Not even.
Oh, is this 605-555-3197?
Yeah, but no one calls me Penelope anymore. Except my parents, that is. To my friends, the art world, and anyone else who made it out of the 20th century, I'm Poppy.
The art world? Wait, you're not Poppy Dada, are you?
Ta-da! Ping ping! You win! Who's this?
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm a detective.
A detective? No way. So do you get to wear a sassy tweed hat and pick hairs off dead bodies and gross, creepy stuff like that?
I don't run into too many dead bodies, luckily. But there's plenty of other creepy stuff.
So, where'd you get my name? Don't tell me I'm like wanted by the FBI or something. That would be too scandalous.
No. You see, it's all a big coincidence. Your dad's name came up in connection with a case I'm working on.
Go Dad. Don't tell me he's wanted by the FBI. I'll be so jealous.
Actually, I called hoping your dad could help me solve this case.
That's hot. What's a case? Are there dead bodies involved? Do you need to, tap my phone or impersonate me or something?
Something tells me Poppy Dada is goth.
Someone is stealing Maya antiquities, jade carvings to be exact, and leaving this scary red handprint at the scene of every crime.
Ghastly. So, what's with the red hand?
It's printed with this stuff called cinnabar. Nobody seems to know what it means. All I know is the more I investigate, the more complicated it gets.
Drama. So, where do the daddles come in?
I got a tip that your great-great-grandfather bought a jade carving much like the ones that are being stolen. I'm hoping to take a look at it.
You mean that ancient green rock with the weird symbol on it? I slapped some shoe polish on it and stuck it in one of my paintings.
You're kidding. That's a one-of-a-kind Maya artifact, a piece of history. It's hundreds of years old. It's worth a lot of money.
That's the whole point. Have you heard the saying that a work of art is never finished, just abandoned? Well, I'm taking that idea to the limit by making art that will keep changing as different people encounter, perceive, and interact with it. I'm tired of artwork that says, "Don't touch." I'm all about letting go, about sending my work into the world and seeing how it continues to become. Don't you see? It's an organic process. I mean, how can people really relate to art if it doesn't come to life and grow and die just like they do? That carving is part of something bigger now.
I can't imagine your dad would be very pleased about this. Does he know?
Oh, Nancy, don't be such a prude. Taylor's probably still got that artwork. At least, I don't think he sold it yet. Why don't you ask him? Tell him you want to see the piece called Deadly Midnight Snack. It's the one with the rubber shark.
Deadly Midnight Snack. I think I know the one you mean. But I'd rather not bring Taylor into this, if it's okay with you. I'm just not sure whether I trust him.
Fine with me. I know the big bunster, Mr. Bunnytron. Well, he rubs some people the wrong way. Has Taylor been pushing those Oaxacan cookies on you? You haven't eaten one, have you?
Why, are they poisonous?
Let's put it this way. His trip to Oaxaca was about 2 years ago, and he's been trying to move those rancid lard biscuits ever since.
Thanks for the tip, Poppy. I can see you're going to be a detective's best friend.
Cool. If you really need the carving to crack this case, why don't you just go ahead and take it?
But wouldn't it ruin your painting?
Of course not. After all, this is a chance to enact exactly what I've been talking about. The organic process. Inviting my viewers to interact with my work. The deal is, you can take the carving, but you have to put something in its place.
Something in its place? Like what? An old shoe? A subway token? A movie stop?
No, it should be something more organic. Stay with the title, Deadly Midnight Snack. And don't be afraid to go way out. As an artist, I can tell you that inspiration bites in the most mysterious ways.
Okay, Poppy, if you say so.
Right on. But let's keep Taylor out of this. He'd probably blow a gasket if he saw you tampering with the merchandise. That's all art is to him, you know. Merchandise.
It's a deal.
Good luck, Nancy.
Thanks, Poppy. Bye.
Chaco Canyon Cultural Center.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew calling.
Hi, Nancy. It's Sheila. What can I do for you?
I've just got to get my hands on a replica of that jade carving you lost. Do you have any ideas?
Not off the top of my head, but maybe one of my staff will have a bright idea. I need some time to ask around. Can you call back later?
Sure thing.
Feel free to call if you have any more questions.
So we're gonna wait a little bit. It's about 1:15 p.m. I'm gonna go ahead and set the alarm for 2 p.m. And call them again.
Chaco Canyon Cultural Center.
Hi, this is Nancy Drew calling.
Hi, Nancy. It's Sheila. Well, we racked our brains. Finally, one of my staff came up with the original box that the carving was packed in. The piece was encased in a tight foam cast to prevent damage during shipping. I'm not sure how much good it'll do you, but I can send it to you if you like.
That just might work.
Henrik left Beach Hill as his forwarding address, so I know what to do. I'll send it express.
Thanks a million, Sheila.
Good luck with your investigation.
Alright, now we go get that key from Sinclair.
Any news?
There was an incident at the museum. Henrik is in the hospital with a head injury.
Poor Henrik. Another squabble between him and Joanna, perhaps? Oh, I'm kidding, but I do remember the time she threatened to push him in the pond. Temper, temper, I'm always telling her.
Mind if I help myself to one of those scrumptious-looking Oaxacan cookies?
Be my guest.
May I take a closer look at that wacky Dada painting?
Be my guest. I just had a call from Poppy this morning. She says she's in a really creative period right now. I said, please, sweetie, if you get any more creative, they're going to lock you up.
Pardon me a moment, Nancy. I'll be right back. I hope.
Not even really look at anything else? Wow, okay. I thought I'd be able to snoop a little more. Shame.
Good afternoon, young lady.
According to your notes, Pakal made a 6-part key to the Whisperer's tomb and scattered the pieces around the world. Do you remember anything about this?
6 keys? 6 keys? 6 keys! Nancy, what are the 4 corners of the world? North, south, east, and west. Plus the first king, Pakal himself, and the Copan fool. When they're all assembled, they open the tomb. Don't you see? This is why I stole the Pakal, to prevent some other schemer from putting the key together.
Maybe I'd better tell Joanna what's going on.
You must keep this to yourself for now. It's your only hope of getting to the bottom of this.
Henrik, I need to know where you put the Pakal carving.
Who knows?
You rest up. I'll be back.
Be careful.
Alright, back to the museum we go. What we're gonna do now is mess around with the ham radio.
The radio tube went out.
Oh, there's something there. We now have a broken radio tube. There was another radio. This one right here.
It's locked.
This is the key that opens it. And for this one, we get the good radio tube. There's a good tube. Well, we already looked at the Morse code thing. Well, that's an interesting way.
Atención, 8, 3, 2, 7, 1. Atención, 8, 3, 2, 7, 1. Atención, 8, 3, 2, 7, 1. Atención.
Oh.
8, 3,
So
2, 7, 1.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off right now, just so it's not like annoying. But we have from the instructions earlier, there we get 0 to the last 3 digits to get 2710. Adding those 3 numbers together, 8, 3, 2, 7, 1. 8 plus 3 is 11, 2 is 13, 7 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Add that to 2710, we get 2731.
Transmítelo ahora.
So now we're...
Mensaje encendido. Transmítelo ahora. Mensaje recibido. Entregaremos el paquete lo más pronto posible. Cambio y fuera.
So, you might have understood some of that, you might not have, but basically, we are gonna get the package. But we have to go change the time now. Go ahead and go to a long sleep. And now we just go back to Beach Hill. And we're gonna check to see if anything's here. No, something is there, but we have something we need to look at first.
Diego de Landa. I wonder if that's one of the keys.
1113, it's the same one we saw in the sheet in Joanna's office. Now we actually grab the crate. We see this thing. We can apparently click on the eyes. In here is the jade carving. Several jade carvings at that. Enough to form a box. So yeah, no, not that one. It's 1113 on the label. This is probably the East key in this box, one of the carvings. But we don't know what the code is yet. We have two of them. This box thing, that's the full key, the one from Honduras. And this one's the West key from the Papi Dada painting. This one is probably the East key, but we don't have the code. Prudence Rutherford is sending us the South key, and Chaco Canyon has the North key, and Henrik has hidden the King's key somewhere else. And now we go visit Henrik to let him know that, hey, we actually have two of them.
Good afternoon, young lady.
Henrik, I received a note from your friends in Copan. I've got the Copan Fool key. I still need the Pakal, though. How's your memory?
The tomb. Nancy, I hid the Pakal carving in the replica of the Pakal tomb at the bottom of the temple exhibit. Huh. Now, how did I think of that? And another thing, you'll need to get past that computer quiz. Sonny set it up with an impossible question. No one knows what Pakal was afraid of, but Sonny was petrified of the Coatamundi. It's an ornery bandit with a narrow snout and a long ringed tail, much like a raccoon or a polecat.
You rest up. I'll be back.
Be careful.
Alright, let's see what's going on. Shipping and receiving. It's supposed to be a busy day here. And look, there's another package. This one's the one from Prudence Rutherford, meaning... Please relieve me of these horrid fake rubies by offering them to the Maya god of refuse if there is one. I have no love for imposters, P. We have now the South key. Nothing else we really need to do here right now, so let's go back. Wow, this game is a lot more loaded from the other ones. Yeesh. Let's sleep for 23 hours. Just have to wait a little bit for that other package. There it is, from Chaco Canyon.
I bet I can make a mold from this foam core.
That's what this thingy does. And we have a mold of the... Oh, so that one is the North key. here we go to the next big part of the game, the quizzes in the pyramid. Welcome to the Beach Hill Maya Mystery Temple. With the help of a museum guide, you will learn about the Maya culture and maybe even discover the hidden tomb in King Pakal. Use your temple keycard to play different games on each temple level. Once you've finished every activity for a level, your temple keycard will unlock that enters the next level. Good luck. You actually have to do your temple keycard thing. Another one here. Try your hand at this ancient Maya war game. The object is to capture all of your opponent's wares by bumping off all his or her pieces while ending on a square occupied by them. Each player has 2 turns. You must roll the corn dice on your first turn but can pass on the second. When a warrior runs off the playing field, he will return from the opposite direction. Again, the whole thing of the temple keycard, and this is Bull. We're actually going to do this game first. Now this one is a matching game that we've seen with glyphs from throughout the game thus far. This one we might have seen from the numbers minigame, it's 19. That one, as we saw, meant road, it's on the card. That one means north, it's on the map. This one means black. I believe you see it somewhere in the museum on one of the exhibits. And this one means throne, which is also from an exhibit. And now we're gonna go do the quiz. Pakal ruled over which city in present-day Mexico? Palenque. Who is Pakal's mother? Zakuk. This is... Now, all of these answers can be found in the different exhibits. Alright, and now we're gonna go do Bull. Sunny June had a really hard time with this one.
Hey! 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 Hey!
No. Okay.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Alright, got him.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Ugh.
Hey!
So we're both pretty much on even footing at this point.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Okay.
Hey! 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 Hey!
gonna be here for a while, aren't we? Alright. Just one more time and we win. Oh god. He might win. No. Oh, let's try that again. Yes. Alright, there's two. Oh, we're on a roll this game. Oh, wow. Oh boy, I got lucky.
It needs a card.
Oh right, we already... Alright, we're able to go down into the next floor. Level 2. Let's see what this one is. The Maze game. This is what Sunny June's thing was probably for. And it's basically just the same puzzle from the Message in a Haunted Mansion, but it's... I'd argue it's a little bit better in this game. There's this computer here, which is the quiz. Now, this one is from one of the ones in the garden. This one is also from the garden. Now, this one is not in the museum. This one is on Henrik's zip disk. gotta do the ball shooter game. You can adjust the power level. We have to be able to do it 4 times. Oh, we can also change the angle. Okay, yeah, it has to make it through that. Yeah, you gotta do that 4 times. And you get the card back. And this brings you down to level 3. The Maya were expert astronomers and extremely interested in the passage and marking of time. While they did not use hours or minutes, they did have a complex method to determine the days and months of the year. The calendar was very similar to modern Western calendars. Challenge: using the logographs Guru move the calendar stones of the day equals 12 Gavan. The calendar on the wall is called a Tfolkin calendar and was used to track the days in a 260-day year. This calendar, there are 20 weeks, each with exactly 13 days. The days were given numbers represented by bars and dots, while the weeks were represented by the following logographs. Alright, so we have these logographs. Imish ik akbal kan chikchan kimi manik lamat muluk ok twen ev ben ish men giv gawan ethnab gawak and ahau. So we wanted to equal 12 Gavan. Well, we need 2 bars. That's 12. And then you just rotate that one until you get it right. King Pakal's tomb, recreating the Great Find. When King Pakal died after 68 years on the throne, his remains were adorned with rare jade ornaments, including the now famous jade death mask, and deposited in an elaborate carved stone sarcophagus, much like the one you see here. The sarcophagus was placed in a tomb set deep under the temple with the inscriptions at Palenque, Chiapas, Mexico. Like the archaeologists who discovered Pakal's tomb in the 1950s, your curiosity and hard work have led you to a hidden chamber. Now it's time to investigate the sarcophagus, but how? The answers lie ahead. To the ancient Maya, jade was a sacred stone more valuable than that of gold or silver. Oop, little typo there. Green like the shoots of young corn plants, jade was a symbol of life, associated with fertility and life-giving and live-giving waters. Jesus, okay. Museum did not proofread. It was even believed to have healing powers. The Maya used jade to make both artistic and sacred objects. Maya nobility distinguished themselves by wearing jade ornaments. Kings were even known to have jade chips embedded in their teeth. The jade carvings you see here are replicas of those found in the sarcophagus of King Pakal. Typically, only royalty could afford to be buried with so much jade.
It's locked.
Oh, that's a door to something. Now, there is actually a thing that we didn't see here.
I wonder if Henrik would remember the answer.
Now, okay. We'll do that one later. Now, we've seen all the gods somewhere in the museum. Xbalanque is the jaguar god. Kukulkan is the god of wind. Yumthimil is the god of death. Ekahau is the god of travelers. Ischel is the moon goddess. Mbalak is the war goddess. Tlalok, the rain god. Ahaukin, the sun god. And Yumgash, the corn god. And we did it. Now there are other cool stuff in here that I kind of neglected to look at, like that is clearly a corpse. There's a sarcophagus we were just at. There's that thing. And a thing about burial rituals. As preparation for the long and often dangerous journey through the afterlife, the Maya buried their dead with the religious articles and objects they'd used when alive. Tools such as grinding stones and flint points, jewelry, and other ornaments. Small figurines placed in the arms of the dead for companionship. Priests were buried with their books. Jade beads were placed in the mouths of corpses along with ground corn for physical and spiritual sustenance in the afterlife. Burial rituals for rulers were particularly elaborate. To ensure a high level of status for the ruler in the afterlife. To learn more, be sure to explore the King of Batal tomb exhibit also on this level. Those are probably Pakal's bones. Nope. Now this one is something that Henrik mentioned, the Guatimundi. And it's also literally the only question that this quiz even has to offer. I wonder why. Oh, Sunny June, aren't you a classic? We actually need to go back to the sarcophagus to get something. Pakal's jade mask. Pakal was buried wearing a jade death mask so that the gods of the underworld would recognize him as a king and accord him the same status and respect as he enjoyed on Earth. Each of the jade pieces for this mask was individually carved down to the fine facial features. The pieces were then set into a wooden base. When Pakal's tomb was discovered hundreds of years later, the wooden base had rotted and the jade pieces lay scattered in the sarcophagus. The mask we know today then is a reconstruction. The original mask is on display upstairs in the main hall. You move the mask, and you get the Pakal. And we also get a glow stick.
It's too dark in here. I need a light.
And that door leads right out to the monolith.
Something's missing here.
Let's go back into the exhibition hall. We better tell someone we found the
You have
Bacall.
no voicemail. Press 9 for an outside line.
Boswell, Jackson, and Rose.
May I speak to Franklin Rose, please?
Who may I say is calling?
This is Nancy Drew.
Just a minute, please.
Nancy, how's your investigation coming along?
I'm making good progress, and the Bacall carving is safe and sound. But I'm afraid I can't tell you everything yet.
What in the world are you talking about?
I'm sorry, but I can't explain everything now. I'll take good care of the carving, I promise.
What can I say, Nancy? I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Do what you have to do, but let's get this mess cleaned up, all right?
So you'll call Joanna and invite her back to work?
I'll call her right away.
Thanks, Mr. Rose.
That's what I'm here for.
Now, obviously, Joanna doesn't just magically teleport into her office, so we have to go to the next day. Let's do a ridiculously long sleep that we're so good at. I just realized it does that for the hotel too. Oh my god.
Thanks for clearing my name, Nancy. Honestly, I mean, what kind of moron would I be to try and ruin my own exhibit? Anyway, we need to make up for lost time. I need you to go to the storeroom and start unpacking some of those crates. One of the pieces has a fancy security device on it. The code is 0677.
Sure thing, Joanna. I'll see you later.
Semper Ubi Sabubi.
And welcome back, Semper Ubi Sabubi. We have the code for the East Key.
According to Henrik's notes, I need to make a key out of these pieces.
We have all the pieces, so... Why is it not letting me put it on? Oh, there we go. Okay, I have to put it on at a certain angle, apparently.
Now I have the key.
And we have the key. Now there's a slight problem. We're gonna go back out to the monolith. Specifically so we can see the side facing the temple.
Something's missing here.
Now, we need to grab those calendar discs, because they look exactly like the ones that are already up for display. Alright, I'm going to save the game again here because you can actually get a death scene if you take too long with the calendar discs.
Wow, these are heavy. I'm not sure I can hold on to these stones for very much longer. I've got to put these things down. The poem said, when the first king ascends again.
So, when the first king ascends again. Now we see 6 Lamat as the date on the Rutherford slab. I want to say that's 6. Oh, we did it.
I've already solved this part. It looks like a keyhole. I'll have to choose which side of the cube goes here. Nothing happened.
This one is basically you. Oh, we got it.
I've already solved this part.
And there's another one. And there's another one.
I've already solved this part. 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 I wonder what's inside.
Oh my god. And we're gonna save the game again here because we're at the end. So there's a book there.
It's blank.
Who's your friend, Nancy?
Oh my god.
Taylor Sinclair.
Who'd you expect, the Tooth Fairy? Looks like someone forgot her beauty cream. I guess we can't all age gracefully.
I'm sure she would say the same about you.
You've been a top-notch assistant, Nancy, but I'm afraid you're just not going to make it in the art world.
Why are you doing this?
Nancy, do you have any idea what that book contains?
Help me out, Sinclair. I'm drawing a blank.
The Whisperer's writings are the only known personal account of Maya life, the only written glimpse into Bakal's time anywhere. Do you know what I can get for that thing on the black market?
Talking animation going on for way longer than the subtitles is sending me.
You have no right to do this. The book is not yours to sell.
Simple economics suggest otherwise. And I am the art dealer.
What is with this wacko lip syncing? Jesus.
This tomb and all of its contents belong to Mexico.
Finders keepers, I say. Nobody even realizes this thing has any contents. Won't they get a surprise when they finally open it up and find that it contains a 7th century scribe and a 21st century detective? Adios, Nancy.
So we got the thing from inside her mouth.
I'm starting to run out of air in here.
You can put that in there.
This may be the scribe's notes about Bakal.
This.
I gotta get out of here.
We got a screw.
I'm suffocating in here. Let me out.
And we got it. We're out.
Behold, our heroine emerges from the tomb, like a mermaid from the sea.
Meanwhile, the foolish villain stews in the sour soup of his own miscalculation.
From deep in the recesses of time, a wise royal scribe whispers her thanks.
And a priceless chapter of history is rescued from obscurity. Way to go, Nancy!
What in the world? Ah! Confound you, Nancy Drew!
Dear Dad, it was great to talk to you on the phone last night. I can't wait to see you back in River Heights where I can fill you in on the whole story. Can you believe that your own daughter was recently standing face to face with a real mummy? Now that the scribe's book has been recovered, I understand how important it is and why Taylor thought he could make a fortune selling it on the black market. The book contains one of the only personal accounts of Maya life in existence anywhere. I'm sure it'll be a tremendous addition to our knowledge of the Maya once it's translated, that is. And now that Henrik's memory is back up to speed again, I'm sure he'll be itching to get to work on it. Taylor Sinclair won't be making any art deals for a long time, though, that's for sure. I guess I shouldn't be surprised about Alejandro's discovery that the Pakal carving's provenance documents were faked after all. When Franklin Rose and the board found out, they arranged to return the artifact to Mexico right away. Mexican officials are so happy to have the artifact back, they have pledged a new era of diplomatic relations with Beach Hill. Joanna sure learned her lesson about making deals with shady operators like Taylor. The board has agreed to give her another chance as long as she reforms her business tactics. And what else? Oh yes, Poppy Dada's announced a new direction in her artwork. All her new paintings are going to feature, what else? Mysterious red handprints. So I guess everyone is taking off in new directions now. I'm going to stay and help this exhibit get launched. But I'll see you back at home in a couple of weeks. Have a safe trip home. Love, Nancy.
Dear Nancy.
Dear Nancy, Bess and George told me you're on a case in D.C. I hope everything is working out for you. I wish I could say the same for me. I'm planning on living here, but there's been some trouble. I think someone or something doesn't want me here. Please, Nancy, I'm afraid I can't stay here very much longer. I know you're busy, but I'm desperate. I need you to come out and investigate. Please say you will. Your friend, Sally.
So that there was the product announcement for Ghost Dogs Moon Lake, the next game in the series. Sorry I couldn't get as hammy as I did with Final Scene. Some of these characters were just not as, I guess, dynamic and fun to mess with as Final Scene. Alejandro for sure, though. Anyways, this has been Teo Tamara. Thank you for watching, and have a good one. See you next time.